What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another week, another episode of The Daily Grind. I'm your host, Dian G, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about, we're going to recap my vacation. We're going to recap the state of play. We're going to recap Summer Game Fest, and we're going to recap Xbox Showcase. I'm not going to go over every single thing. I'm going to pick and choose of the things I thought was interesting from each of the, I watched them after the fact. I didn't watch them live when they were happening. I was on vacation, so late at night, I would speed through what I liked or didn't like about each showcase. If you could tell, my voice is back, but it's not the fullest. So all depending on how my voice feels, it might be a regular length show. It might be a little bit less show. I did lose my voice for 3 days, almost 4 days. Couldn't speak at all for 2.5. And then my voice came back sometime on Saturday from... When did we have the show? It was like Tuesday, right? Tuesday, and then I couldn't do it Wednesday. So it's actually Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So what's going on, chat? Good morning, good morning. Let me see who's all here. Let me scroll back up. Good morning, Travis, Aku, Altern, Big Mo, Wonder Rose. Let's see. Oh, I just lost it. Let me, Altern, Big Mo. Eclipse, Travis, Jason, Jesse Mack, Sarge, Wonder Rose. Who am I missing? I think Ward's here as well. And I think there was somebody else, and I can't see it now. So welcome. As you talk in chat, I will say good morning to you. We went on vacation, and we went to Washington, D.C., take the kids to teach them, show them some stuff. And I have to say... this is not a political statement or anything like that, but they cleaned up Washington very nicely. It was very safe, very clean. They've done a crazy amount of cleaning in that city. And that everything was just very safe. This is not a promotional video for it or anything like that. But if you're thinking about going, you're like, I don't know if it's safe there. It is extremely safe. Right, they got the National Guard walking around in the subway systems. The subway system is very clean there. The city's very clean. Everything about the city is just very nice right now. We stayed in the heart of downtown DC. We walked everywhere. Even 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the evening, we're walking around. It was great. It was fantastic. So great food, I should say. Great food. So yeah, good time. Such as I don't know, bro. Having to say nothing and just nodding sounds like vacation to me. What do you mean? Doing nothing sounds like a vacation to me. I mean, we went around and learned history. I saw $100 bills being printed in the printing press. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Sarge says, you mean you brought respect back to our capital? Yeah, it's fantastic. It was so funny, Sarge. We watched a video while we were there about the reflecting pond. And the reflecting pond is that people were really upset because the reflecting pond, they said, didn't need to be worked, even though there was leaks and stuff. And because Trump was painting it blue, they thought he was painting it blue like a pool. But the first coat they put down was like this bright blue, and then they put this darker blue over it, like it was a sealant, and then they put the dark American flag blue, and they were just filling it when we were there. So through each of the days, you saw a little bit of water, then you saw more water, and then obviously it was filled when we were done by the time we were there, and it looks awesome. Like, because I was there in 2011, and you could see like in the reflection in the water. But now it's like you could really, really see the reflection in the water. So it looks great. There was a woman that was on video. She's like, I think, I'm mad about it. She says, I'm mad about it because it looks good, is what she said. Right? She says, I'm mad about it because it looks good. Meaning she has to admit to herself that he did something and it was nice. Yeah. So that was funny. What's going on, Roic? Roic says, I know a few years ago it was not a good place. Yeah, it's very nice now. Very, very nice. They cleaned up everything. Not being able to speak and just nodding. Well, for the first couple days, yeah. As you can tell, it's still a little raspy. If those of you that don't know, that morning on Tuesday, we had cleaning people come over, right? Because my parents are coming over and stuff like that. We wanted to make sure the house was clean and stuff for them. And they used some spray or whatever, if it was bleach or whatnot. And when they clean a room, they close the door. Okay. Well, they closed the door, and right before stream, I went into the bathroom. And as soon as I opened up the door, I got hit with the cleaning like smell. You know what I mean? Like, and apparently, it damaged my throat. So much so on Tuesday's stream in the morning, you guys, as soon as I went live, I was like, I don't know what's happening to my voice. And my voice started to crackle and whatnot. And I got some tea and it helped a little bit, but it just got worse and worse. As soon as I got off the stream that day, my voice was slowly going away. Next morning, I woke up. I had no voice whatsoever, like none. I had to use a communication device, like a text app which spoke out loud for me. Live high. You lived in a high like you got a cleaning service. We got a cleaning service because my parents were coming. It doesn't actually cost that much roadkill if you look it up sometime. But they used the solution or whatever it was, and I got this, and I forget what it's called. It's acute chemical logistic, which happens when you inhale chemical fumes from concentrated disinfectants or bleach, causing an inflammation and swelling of the vocal cords. So that's what happened. That's what happened to me. And I literally couldn't speak for days and days. So the first 2.5 days of our trip, we were, total of 6 of us. And I had to speak to everybody, like asking questions in DC. I was typing in a thing and a robot. I sounded like a Stephen Hawkins for 2.5 days. So, yeah, it was crazy. So I'm still recouping from my voice. So pardon me if my voice sounds raspy or whatnot. Jesse Max says, wear a mask next time. Jesse, if I knew next time, if I knew it was going to happen, I wouldn't have opened the door. I didn't think anything would happen. I just opened the door to go to the bathroom, and next thing I know, I've got hit in the face with, as Sarge says, baby anthrax. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the state of play. We're going to be talking about Summer Game Fest, and we're going to be talking about the Xbox Showcase. I watched the PC Showcase as well. I have to say, from a production standpoint, I thought the state of play was fantastic, right? I thought they did a really good job of what it was. They didn't show any fucking gameplay, I'll tell you that. But from a production standpoint, I thought state of play was good. I thought, what's it called? Summer Showcase was absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. They showed no gameplay. Zero gameplay for any of the games that they showed at Summer Game Fest. And I thought Xbox did a really good job showing stuff. Not only did they show their games, but they showed really long gameplay for E-Day. They showed a little bit more of Fable. I'm still confused on Fable. Maybe you guys can fill me in. Like I said, I'm on vacation, so I wasn't really diving deep into what I saw. I was typing to you guys in Discord, and I was a little... Haley Atwell, is that the character? She's a villain? Like, what is happening in Fable? So let's start off with the state of play, okay? Because a lot of you guys, I know the whole discourse since it happened last Wednesday. It's like an eternity. It's been a week since the last thing. But the state of play, they showed a couple games. Obviously, God of War at the very end. They showed 20 minutes of gameplay. A lot of people are pissed off about it. I personally don't think it's going to do very well. That's not saying the game is bad. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to do very well because people don't want that for God of War. The masses, I should say. The people that are fans that like the lore and stuff like that, they're going to eat it up and they're going to get it. But I don't think that's going to be more than 3 million people. I'll be honest with you. I think when you have 93 to 95 million people that have a PlayStation and you're only selling 3 million, 4 million copies of your first-party title games. That's a problem. We went over that stat last week where only like 32 million first-party titles have sold this generation, basically, or this year, or in the last year, which is not very good because there's been like 6 games that have come out, and they've gone a combined total of 32 million copies, which is like one Mario Kart, basically, for Nintendo. Ace Combat here looked very good. I'm probably not going to get it, but it looked really good. If you like Top Gun, if you like Ace Combat type of stuff, it looked really good. This one looked interesting. The Bancho the Chef. This is a spin-off, isn't it, of Dave the Diver, I believe it is, right? Yeah, it's right here. It says, find the flavor, become a sushi master. Cooking sim meets global trotting RPG, an all-new standalone prequel to Dave the Diver. It looked interesting. Control Resident. Again, this is another game that people liked, but it didn't sell in the. Not saying it's not successful, it just didn't sell mass amount of copies of it. Dune Awakening, they have a console announcement and also a single player that they showed. I bought this already for PC. I'm glad that they're doing a single player aspect of Dune Awakening, so I'm excited about that. I think it's also part of Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken, when it comes out later. Dynasty Warrior 3 looks good. It looked good. What else we got? A God of War Laufey. Is that how you say it? Laufey? I think I like the actress. The actress is from like True Blood. She's also from Daredevil. I forget her actual name. It's Karen something, isn't it? Or no, that's her name in Karen Page is her name. I forget what the actress's name is. But I like her as an actress. I don't know what the hell I don't know what they're doing with the technology. Even Haley Atwell in Fable, I'm like, how do you make these women look worse than what they already look like? Right? You look at some of these other, right, and this is not a make or break for me because of the way the actress looks. I'm just kind of confused on, you bring these actors into these games, okay? You bring these actors into these games and they don't look anything like what they look like, but yet, you know, Idris Elba and Keanu Reeves, they look fine. Like, why are they? Can they not make pretty women in the Western world? I don't know what's happening here, right? God of War. I saw what Jaffe said. He says it looks like shit and whatnot. And Jaffe made the original God of War. I don't know. Like, I look at this, and this is not what people wanted. Even the 2022 version of Ragnarok when it came out didn't sell as many as the 2018 version of God of War, so it's gone down every single year. I don't see this one selling very well. I don't. There's memes out there that show, like, you know, what they did to Uncharted, then they had the Uncharted Legacy type of thing. Then there's the Ghost of Tsushima, and then they switched to Ghost of Yotei. Then there was one more they showed, and you just look at it, and every time they switch the God of War, right? Or they take the main title of something and then they make it into something else, but using the name, they kind of always just screw it up and it sells a third less than what it usually sells. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. I mean, obviously, I don't have a PlayStation, right? The last PlayStation I had was a PlayStation 4. I own God of War. I never got God of War Ragnarok, but I own God of War, love God of War. I thought God of War 2018 was phenomenal. Just never got God of War Ragnarok. I look at this, and I just don't see it selling well. If you want to call it because of the DEI, if you want to call it because of it's a female lead character, I just look at it and say, people that like the series, the majority, look at what's happening at like Amando and Grogu, right? The people that wanted to go see it saw it, and then it fell off a cliff because no one cares about it afterwards. That's what I see happening in the video game space with God of War Laufey, right? So then we have Marathon. Well, I don't even know what's been happening with Marathon. Let's see I know they had the free weekend last week. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, okay. Well, 25,000. So they've had a little kick. There you go. Boom. Free weekend. Everyone popped back up. Went to 40,000, half of what their total peak was 3 months ago. And now it's fallen back down to earth. to where it'll be, I would say in about a week and a half or so, it'll be back to around about here. I don't think that's going to be, a lot of people played it, thought it was fine, and then said, I'm not paying $40 for it or whatever. And I know there's other drama happening around that as well, because they kind of didn't make it clear about the price of it. They like cheated people on the price. I saw Token Fighting Souls. This looks good. Fighting game looks fantastic. They showed Carnage and Green Goblin and stuff like that, so it looks good. Wolverine looks good. I don't like what they did to Jean Grey. They did the soccer mom thing that Marvel's Avengers did with Black Widow. Is that a make or break for me? No, make or break for me is buying a $900 PlayStation to play the game. So Wolverine looks good. It looks very visceral, and I like the gore that they have inside of Wolverine. Unfortunately, I will not be playing Wolverine because they're not coming to PC, in their own words. And, well, even though it hasn't been official yet, but they're not porting their stuff over to PC. So we'll see what happens with Wolverine. I think about 4 to 5 million people will play this game. I think this game will be successful. I don't think it'll sell 12 to 14 to 15 million copies, but we'll see what happens there. But I do think it'll be successful. It looks great. It looks good, but it's not enough for me to buy a $900 PlayStation so I can play Wolverine. All right. I don't remember this one. We'll skip that over that. Rest for the Wicked 1.0 announcement comes out. This is also coming out for consoles. Rest for the Wicked, I think, is coming out later for Xbox because of the Series S. The Series S is still holding stuff back. What else we got here? Phantom Blade Zero looked very good. That looks very good. RuneScape Dragon Wilds, which we played on PC, is coming out. We got Rayman Legends Retold. I don't care about that series. Maybe my son will pick it up, but we don't have a PlayStation, so maybe down the road if it comes over to PC or whatnot. Silent Hill, not really interested in this. I was interested in Stuntman until I found out it was Stuntman. I saw the Fast and Furious. I saw Back to the Future. I saw Knight Rider. I was like, oh, what's this? And then I was like, never mind. I was just like, wah, wah. Didn't really care about Stuntman Hollywood. I know it's a good game back in the day, but, people didn't really, it's not a massive blockbuster hit that I'm looking forward to. Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider's coming out for all platforms, PC, PlayStation, Xbox. It looks good, actually. It does kind of look Fortnite-ish. Her character model, at least in the third-person view, and then when you get up close and personal to her, it looks, Unreal Engine esque. But I'm excited. I'm excited for Tomb Raider. I don't know. Does this come to? I don't know if this is coming to Game Pass. I'm sure it'll come down to Game Pass down the road. But it didn't look bad. It didn't look fantastic either. We'll have to see more about that one. Until Dawn 2, they announced the trailer there, and that was about it for the state of play. Overall, like I said, I thought the show was good. Production-wise, they showed gameplay. They showed stuff. I liked it. The next one, which is Summer Game Fest, before we jump to that, they didn't show shit. They didn't show anything. No gameplay. It was just trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer. And, obviously in the Sony PlayStation event, everything's coming out in September. There were so many games coming out in September. Everyone's like, we got to get it out. We can't do October. Can't do November, right? You got to get them out way ahead of time. So they got to try to get all the games out as fast as possible, because Grand Theft Auto is like the vortex that's just sucking in all, it's like a whirlpool, actually. That's what it is. Black hole, whirlpool. It's sucking in everything. If you're too close to it, you'll get sucked into the Grand Theft Auto, and your game will fail. So they're just trying to stay away from that as much as possible. Let me see what you guys are saying here. Let's see here. Jesse Mack says, if God of War 2018 had DLC, this one, not the standalone game. Yeah, if this was a DLC, I don't think it would be a problem. It is a prequel, but at the same time, it's in linear running of it. It's like at the point. So if you played Ragnarok, it takes place at the exact moment and runs the same exact timeline. So that's what at least they're saying. Let's see. Jesse Mack says middle-aged Jean. Yeah, look. Let me bring up a picture of her up. Okay, middle-aged Jean just not working for me. And again, the game could be badass, right? Hold on, let me bring up a picture. Jean Grey and Wolverine. Let me get an image here. Yeah, this is not it. I'm sorry. Right? This right here is not the best Jean Grey we've seen. Okay, she's like middle-aged soccer mom, and I get it. Right? It takes place. This is what they're doing. This is what they've chose to do, and I can not like it, and I don't like it. Wolverine looks good, looks better. I think Wolverine looks great. I think the gameplay and stuff like that. I just don't like the way that she looks in the game. Again, this reminds me of Marvel's Avengers with Black Widow. Roadkill says, "Hey, the talking cube is the talking cube. We don't got to look at that part. But hey, if you're right, it seems like Disney's shit. I hear you, but it's also so excited for the game. Fantastic, yeah. No one's saying you can't be excited for the game, Roadkill. I'm just giving my thoughts and opinions on how I think the game will sell. I don't think it's going to sell very well." Sarge says, "Yeah, definitely. Bye-bye, Raymond. Excellent driver." Crowded says, "There are people that will remain nameless that the idea that these women in games look the same. They just don't have makeup on." Are we talking about like what the character from God of War? Okay, hold on a second. Let me look this up. Right. Let me look this up. Was it Laufey? Images. Side by side. Doesn't have makeup on. I mean, I don't know. She looks very, very different. Right? I don't know how they take. She's a pretty girl. She's a pretty woman, right? Like, very attractive. Okay, very attractive. And then they make her less attractive. Now, we've always had this conversation. We've had this conversation when they did it for the past games, and we're like, look at the actress, and everyone's like, you just don't like the game because she's not good. No, we're just pointing out a thing that they make. I understand that she's a god and she's dirty and stuff because she's fighting people and stuff like that. But there's something wrong. Like, even Haley Atwell in the Fable footage that we saw, I was like, what's happening? Why are they making these people look worse off than they were? But yet, for some reason, when the actors, like the men actors, get scanned in, they look exactly like what they're supposed to look like. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. Crowd says they absolutely changing the features of the face in subtle ways that makes them look less attractive. And it's annoying. Yeah, it is annoying. And I don't know why they do it. Right? It might make or break where it's like, I'm not going to get this game because she's not. No, I'm making a statement about it, right? The reason I'm not buying the game is because I don't own a PlayStation 5. And if I had to go buy a PlayStation 5, to me, it's not worth the $900. And that goes for Xbox as well. If I didn't own an Xbox and this game came out, Fable came out and stuff, it's not worth $800 to buy the console to play the one game, right? If it's Fable, if it's E-Day, or whatever it is, right? It's just the consoles are too expensive right now. Sarge says there was no making ancient times crowded. Good God, give these women a break. Oh, wait, there's no makeup back then. That's right. Will Wolverine sell more or less than Spider-Man 2? What did Spider-Man 2 sell? Let's see. Spider-Man 2 total sales. Let's see it. Spider-Man 2 has sold over 16 million copies across all platforms as of late 2025. The game initially broke PlayStation record by selling 2.5 million copies in the first 24 hours. I would say it would sell around about the same in the first 24 hours as far as Wolverine. I would say about 2.5 to 3 million copies will sell because that's the initial people that want to play it. It says it reached 11 million lifetime units within 6 months of its original PlayStation 5 release. I don't see Wolverine selling 11 million copies in the first 6 months. And again, not because the game is bad. One, because the consoles are too expensive, and the people that don't own, that like Spider-Man or whatever else, don't own a PlayStation, so they won't be buying the PlayStation because it's just too much money. So that cuts off some people that would buy it. The people that are interested, there's a lot of games. There's a lot of games coming out that if the average person only buys 2 games, down the road, once Wolverine goes on sale, I see more people buying it. But the initial sales, I'll say, I said it earlier, 4 to 5 million is what it'll sell. I don't think it sells 11 million copies in the first 6 months. But we'll see. Roadkill says, I just hope Wolverine doesn't feel like Spider-Man game. That's all I hope. I mean, it's pretty brutal. That alone changes up the feel of it. September's insane. 2 games coming out the same day. Roadkill says, I'll laugh if Grand Theft Auto delays till February next year. I mean, we said that last week. I was like, yeah. I was like, please, 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 please. Get delayed just another couple of months just so everyone has to move again. Just enough. What's going on? Says, I've been hearing the new God of War game will play more like the original games. Okay. Crowd says, I heard that Sweet Baby Inc. had Insomniac change the name of X-Men to Team X in the Wolverine game. Not buying it. Team X is actually in the Marvel Universe, isn't it? But Sweet Baby Inc. is still in a lot of video games, Xbox Studios, Santa Monica Studios, so they do have their hands in stuff. Sarge says, if GTA only works on new gen systems, they might not sell as many as you think. Well, yeah, it's only on PlayStation 5, Sarge. Well, not Grand Theft Auto. Sorry, I was thinking of Wolverine. That's another reason, right? Because didn't Spider-Man sell on all platforms? Like 4, 5, and PC? Roka says, the picture on the right, she's going to be opening up movie night. All dolled up on the picture on the left is a video game. It's just, you're missing the foundation of what we're talking about. Right? Regardless of the makeup or not, the characters don't look the same. They don't look the same. Look at a male that gets scanned into a video game, an actor that gets scanned into a video game. Look at their picture and look at their character in the game. Right? Dolled up or not, they look like the person. It's like we have these arguments through the tale of time here from past people that got scanned in, and for some reason the women never look the same and the men look exactly the same. Jason says Wolverine looks pretty mid. I don't know if it looks mid. I gotta see more. I mean, they show a lot of gameplay. It does look a lot to be on rails, though, Jason. I will say that. Aku says, what's going on, Aku? Says, Wolverine has gameplay issues. Base combat looks good, but the larger movement system is janky. Yeah, something off about it. What's going on, Mr. Luke? Roic says there's enough games coming to Game Pass that I won't have to buy a game for a while. Yeah, there's a lot. We'll get to that. We'll get to that a little bit later in the show. We're going to go over Summer Game Fest next. Mr. Luke says it is that disband the X-Men in the game. Never heard of Team X? I'm pretty sure. Hold on a second. Let me see. Uh-oh. My computer's frozen for a second, so I'll have to wait till it kicks back in here. No, there's definitely X Factor. I do know about X Factor. Jesse Mack says Sweet Baby Inc. is the problem process and just hide it now. Look at Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, God of War. They're all pushing the narrative. Okay, let me see here. Come on. How come I can't pre-order E-Day on my PlayStation 5? It must be a system error. What was I looking up? We were looking up, Team. What is happening to my computer right now? It's like, I'm sorry, you've been away for a week. I don't think there's a thing updating in the background, is there? Holy Christ. I have to try to shut down some of these tabs I got open here. Yeah. In the Marvel Universe, Team X has a covered CI Black Ops squad operating during the 1960s. Yeah, so there you go. Team X made significant live-action appearances. Primary antagonist team in the 2009 film X-Men Origins is the movie. They operate as a covert military unit led by Major William Stryker. Team X. So there you go. Comic book and everything there, Crowded. Roadkill says, yeah, just the way the enemies looked in the Wolverine, it reminded me of Spider-Man. I hope they can also change it up a little. Well, I'm not a Insomniac, but I'm assuming they're trying to make it feel the same because it's in the same universe. Even though Spider-Man's probably not going to show up in the game, it still has to have that same type of feeling. You know what I mean? I think they're trying to make their own, as me and Krebsy have said for years and years, sort of like the Marvel gaming universe that Insomniac's basically doing. Let's see here. Crowded says, sounds like an excuse not to use X-Men. I mean, we don't know what the time frame is about this. Maybe the X-Men exist, but they're not in the game. I mean, say what you want. Jean Grey's there. Wolverine's there. Maybe there's a story on why the X-Men are disbanded and now they have to make a new team. You can say what you want. Until we know for definite proof, Team X does exist, so it is there. Just Enough says, is it X-Men, pre-X-Men? I don't think it's pre-X-Men because the way Wolverine talks to Jean Grey, it says, there you are, Red, meaning they know each other from the past, right? They've known each other for quite a long time. She's like a middle-aged soccer mom now. I would assume it's not before pre-X-Men. I would assume that X-Men do exist. We just don't know what story they're telling during the actual Wolverine game. All right, let's go to the shittiest show, in my opinion, which was the Summer Game Fest. All right, hold on a second. It looks like there's something happening in the background. Something's doing something. I got to make sure that we're not using anything that we don't need to use. Aku says, from Sony's showcase, Ace Combat, God of War looked interesting. God of War improves the combat significantly, which is why I didn't get Ragnarok. Well, it's funny. In a couple games, right? E-Day, which we'll talk about in a little bit, they added jump. You can jump now in Gears of War. You can jump now in God of War. Like jump around and stuff. So they completely changed the mechanics that way. What's going on, Water Bear? Yeah, see, Waterbear says, Crowded, they already said that as soon as the Wolverine was announced, the game was connected to the Spider-Man. Also, the rumor is that they're working on an X-Men game as well. Yeah, they could basically tell whatever they want. Now, we could speculate why they don't use X-Men and say, oh, because Sweet Baby Ink's there, and they don't want to use the word X-Men because there's women involved and stuff like that. And you would be probably correct. But to say Team X didn't exist, which it does, and you're saying it's an excuse to use Team X, it could be, but we don't know the entire story. We'll find out in September when people play the game and they're like, oh, well, that makes sense. All right, let's go to the Summer Game Fest showcase here. I don't need to click on any of these videos because they don't show any fucking gameplay. There was no gameplay the entire time in the Summer Game Fest. I thought Summer Game Fest was the worst show, and I watched the PC Gamer show, and that was pretty bad, okay? But at least they showed gameplay. Like, I don't understand what they don't understand. When you're showing games, right? When you're showing games off, you have to show gameplay. If you show no gameplay, then you're just showing movie trailers. Nobody gives a shit about movie trailers, okay? Because they're not movies, they're video games. And video games are like, oh, cool. Like Resident Evil Veronica's coming out. Great. Can we see some gameplay, right? Oh, look, Cuphead, the sequel. We saw 2 seconds of the side-scroller one they're making because they're making two different games, right? They're making Cuphead, the sequel, and they're making Mighty Cuphead, the adventure. And they showed literally like 2 seconds of the gameplay for Mighty Cuphead Adventure, right? They showed absolutely nothing this entire time. Alien Isolation, they just showed announcements. We saw Alien Isolation gameplay a couple weeks earlier, but they showed absolutely nothing. Okay, Gen Atlas, this looked pretty cool. Again, we don't really know anything about it. Blood Message here, again, don't know anything about it. I could say, oh, well, these look cool. Stranger Than Heaven. They brought Snoop Dogg on stage, and he's like, hey, this is so cool. And he's like, yeah, for sure, for shizzle my nizzle, right? Nothing of substance whatsoever. They just came on stage, did absolutely nothing, and they have Tupac inside the game now. Great. Can we see gameplay? No, can't see gameplay. Then we got, what is this, Hex? Okay, reveal trailer. Again, don't know much about it. Dead by Daylight, 10th anniversary, or whatever it is. Then we got Sand Raiders. They actually kind of showed gameplay on this one, right? You have the walkers and stuff you can make and create, but we've known about this game, I want to say about 10 months now. We knew it was coming out. Then they showed Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Nobody really cares because we already know it's coming out, and it's coming out really soon. Everyone's like, great, thanks for taking a spot up because we already know you were coming out. This one is probably the one I was most excited for, okay, which was The Last Ronin. As soon as I saw, I was like, oh, Teenage Mutant Turtles? But this fucking thing is maybe next year for The Last Ronin. If not, we're talking 2028, right? Because they didn't even show gameplay. They showed zero gameplay of this. They just showed a trailer, okay? So how excited could you be? You're like, oh, great. Thanks for letting me know. Right. Then we have the Fortnite update, Season 3 runners happening, which is already out now, and you can actually play it. Then you have the Gundam Rogue Orbit reveal. Looks interesting. Piqued my interest. Again, no gameplay. Right? In-game cinematics, in-game footage, not actual gameplay. The extremely hard game, which is just a co-op thing. This is a chucking a controller against the wall game for me. Not playing it, wasn't interested in it. Crossfire seemed interesting. I think they actually showed a little bit of this one. Let me see if we can open this one up. Do they show gameplay on this one? I forget if they showed gameplay on this one. Yeah, I guess you could call it gameplay.
They're cruel,
right? Seems like sort of like an Arc Raiders-esque type of game, obviously. This seemed interesting. right? Again, they showed a lot of cinematics. They don't really show a lot of gameplay, in-game footage, or captured in-game type of stuff. So, here, let me fast forward a little bit, right? I guess this is gameplay, right? You got co-op. This seemed, like I said, I was interested in this game. But this is like a mixture of like Arc Raiders, Division type of stuff. So, interested in Crossfire. Crossfire. What else we got going on here? We got Control Resident world premiere, right? Again, another trailer. Guild Wars 3. I like MMOs. Not going to have time to play this one, but Guild Wars 3 was announced. Star Wars Galactic Racer. It looks interesting. It does look interesting. But I need to know more about this game. I need to know more about this game as far as can you customize it sort of like you do in like Forza Horizon? Can I tweak my vehicle and stuff like that? I don't know if they really showed anything or anyone knows anything like that. Then we have the End of Abyss. Okay. Then we have the Last Harbor. Again, a lot of horror-esque type of games as well. Virtue Fighter, Crossroads. Okay, then we got RuneScape Dragon Wilds coming to console, and then coming out in 1.0, I believe, right? Is where it's happening. We got Soulframe. We already know about Soulframe, so excited about Soulframe. We already know about Grounded 2. So Grounded 2 is coming to PlayStation, announced trailer, and then also they're upgrading that as well. Then we have a DLC. Is this DLC or is this another standalone story on top of Mafia, the Old Country Man of Honor? And then we have the girl version of Assassin's Creed. We have the 1666 Amsterdam. This looked interesting. They did show gameplay of this. It looked very Assassin's Creed-ish, which makes sense since the guy who created Assassin's Creed is also making 1666. We'll look at a little bit of this as well, if it ever opens up. I thought this was like Assassin's Creed Hex or whatever, but basically that's what this is. This is Assassin's Creed, but with a chick now, right? 1666. Not making fun of it, by the way. I'm just saying it looks like, right? Then you also have the Assassin's Creed game coming out, which is Hex, which is kind of strange, right? You have the Witch Assassin's Creed coming out, and then you have this game, which is a witch, also that looks like Assassin's Creed. So you have two Assassin's Creed type of games, an Assassin's Creed game with a witch, and then a guy who left Assassin's Creed to make a witch game. Interesting, right? Yeah, Waterbear says, that's funny about 1666 is I thought it was Hex. Ubisoft delayed AC Hex. Wonder why? That's what I thought, Water. I was like, oh, this is Hex. Nope. 1666. And I was like, oh, interesting. So there you go. We got that as well. What else we got? We got Saw. Didn't give a shit about that. Lords of the Fallen 2 looks interesting. I'm actually quite interested in Star Wars Zero Company, right? Say what you want about the Star Wars franchise in movie form. Mando and Grogu is bombing at the box office. But I was actually interested in Star Wars Zero Company now that I know a little bit more about it, and they showed gameplay. We'll watch this in the background. Dolphin went to Wisconsin Dells and also lost my voice screaming over the pontoon boat music. Nice. Sarge says the dev fought long and hard to make 1666. He had to win multiple court cases from Ubisoft. Interesting. I didn't know that, Sarge. I didn't know that. Yeah, the Star Wars XCOM or Marvel's Midnight Suns, but Star Wars. I'm actually interested in this. And it's only $60. It's not a full price game. Well, technically it is, but they're only charging 60 for it and not 70. All right, so let's see. Can I fast forward a little bit here? All right, I like the way they look. I'm interested in the actual gameplay, leveling up your characters. I think this is going to be a good one. I don't think it's going to sell well. Let me be clear there. I do not think it's going to sell well, but I think it will be a good game. So I'm interested in this one. This will probably be a pickup for me. All right. I like games like this. I like that you can bring different characters in, level them up, and if you lose them, you kind of feel attached to them. You know what I mean? I like it. So excited about this. I like a little bit of a thinking game. So excited about this. Comes out in September, right? I think this comes out in September. Let me see. Oh, and then they show Anakin Skywalker. Can I just say what's happening here? You have multiple features that you can capture from him. This does not look like Hayden Christensen. This looks like a mock-up of a Temu version of Anakin Skywalker. I don't know what's happening here, but there you go. So that's coming out soon. Then you have the Blood Dawnwalker. Looks interesting. I'm not interested in it, but it does look interesting. Among Us On Guard, they're coming out with a trailer, right? Like a show. And then they're coming out with DLC or whatever for 007, which has sold, I think, 3 million copies now. I think it's sold 3 million copies. Still, the NPCs are garbage as far as stealth goes. And then we have Aeon 2. I don't even know what Aeon 1 is. Let's see what else we got. Swords of the Legend. A lot of these games looked good. Well, sorry. A lot of these trailers looked interesting, but no gameplay. No gameplay in a lot of this stuff. I was really disappointed in Summer Game Fest. Like, really disappointed in Summer Game Fest. I thought they were going to show way more stuff of gameplay-wise. They didn't. I think that's because I have so many of these videos. Clutch, another racing game out there. Chronicles of Medieval, Seas of Remnant, Hitman World of Assassination, just more DLC stuff that you could download. This is what 007 is going to turn into, by the way. 007 is going to turn into this like live service, constantly just keep updating type of stuff. Pal World 1.0 is going to be released. Lots of changes there. The Wolf Among Us 2, which has been in development for like 8 years or so. They finally showed that, or a trailer for that, which I guess is gameplay, right? Let's be honest. Stellar Blade Blood Rain looks good. Looked really good. I didn't play the first Stellar Blade, but Stellar Blade Blood Rain looked very good. Street Fighter 6, year 4. Can you believe it's been 4 years since Street Fighter 6 came out? That's crazy to me. Final Fantasy VII Revelations finally been shown. So this is, part 2 or whatever the hell it is. And, yeah, I think that's it. So that was all of Summer Game Fest. Anything that you guys are, like, really excited about from everything that you saw from Summer Game Fest? I think out of all these games, I'm going to pick up the Star Wars XCOM, right? Down the road, I'll play Wolf Among Us 2 because I like that. I might check out Pal World 1.0 again. What else we're going to play here? I don't really think there's much else. I'm going to go back to Dune Awakening because the single-player story type stuff, I already own the game, so I'll play that as well. What else they're going to put? I think that's about it, really, for me. Not to say all these other games are bad or whatnot. I just, let me close that. Let me close this one. Just enough says Star Wars XCOM looked good too. Who's making the XCOM game? I'm not sure who's. Let me see. I have it here. This is. Who is making this? EA Star Wars. I don't know who's making it because I'm looking at the thing. It just says Elite Squadron, authentic story from Star Wars Zero Company, single player turn based tactical gameplay, PC, PlayStation, Xbox. It does not say who makes it. Let me click on the actual link. Zero Company about, no. Do they say it at the end? I don't think they do. Nope. Does it say in the beginning? I don't even think it says in the beginning. I'm not sure the company that's making it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Star Wars Bit Reactor. Maybe Bit Reactor is the actual developer of it. I think that's what it is. I think it's Bit Reactor. Let's see. Clip says it would be more exciting if it was $70. If it does not look like a $70 game. Which game are you talking about there, Clips? Sorry. Crowd says, which DLC will actually make him James Bond? Oh, part 3. Sorry, not part 2. Part 3. My bad. Just enough says 30 casually not mentioning Tifa and Street Fighter because I don't give a shit. Just a Street Fighter game. I haven't played a Street Fighter game. I haven't played a fighting game. God, I can't remember the last fighting game that I bought. It might be Marvel vs. Capcom. I think that's the last fighting game I bought. Just to put that out there, just enough. Waterbear says Star Wars Zero Company is being developed by Studio Bit Reactor, collaboration with Respawn Entertainment, and published by Electronic Arts and Lucasfilms. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right, now we have the Xbox showcase, which I kind of want to go over E-Day. E-Day actually looks good. Actually, you know what? Let me bring up. They did a whole like deep dive into E-Day. That's the official trailer. Collector's Edition Direct. That's 27 minutes. Maybe we watch that because I haven't seen that. Maybe we'll watch that because that was pretty cool. All right, this picture here alone. They showed a lot of stuff. Now, obviously, this is not just for Xbox. They're coming out to other places as well. The big news for Xbox is 2 big games that were supposed to be multi-plat, but are not being multi-plat, which is Gears of War E-Day and Clockwork Revolution, right? These 2 games, they decided that E-Day is coming out this year, and that's exclusive for Xbox. Game Pass, obviously PC, but it's not coming to PlayStation. Now, I'm going to say that's up in the air. They literally just released Gears of War for PlayStation earlier this year, late last year. Okay? Within the last 12 months, they've released Gears of War on PlayStation. And now Gears of War E-Day is coming out, and it was supposed to come out to PlayStation, but they decided that they weren't going to. So you got Gear of War E-Day, which actually looks really good. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I personally don't care. Halo Combat Evolved or Campaign Evolved. I mean, graphics look fantastic. Getting the little upgrade of that. But again, I'm not excited for Halo. I've played Halo. Metro 2039 looks really good. I've never played any of the Metro series, but that one actually piqued my interest. I was like, oh, maybe I will play this one. Fable, I was a little confused about because what we saw, and again, this is just my breakdown of what I saw. So originally we saw the character they created, right? Which was the girl that got dragged through the mud saying that she looks terrible. We need to make our own customized characters in Fable. They never mentioned anything about customized characters until in January when it came out, and they showed that, oh yeah, you can make your own character. And you can make your own character, and then all of a sudden, this trailer that they showed was with Haley Atwell. And I was like, okay, is she the main character? And Waterbear told me that she's the villain. So I was like, oh, okay. Right. But she said that she's the hero or whatever. And I was like, so wait a minute. Because they only show the girl that you're supposedly supposed to be in the very beginning. Like for a split second inside the game, they showed a lot of other guys and people inside the trailer. But I was a little confused about the Fable trailer. And obviously that doesn't come out until February now of 2027. Minecraft Dungeons 2. I'm excited about Minecraft Dungeons 2. Minecraft Dungeons 1 was actually really good. I like that. Me and my son played it together, so we'll play that. Senua. Is it Senua? Which is Hellblade 3, basically, or an offshoot of Hellblade, a standalone story. That looks actually pretty good, and the turnaround time for that is, what, 2 years? 2 years since the last one. That comes out in 2027. Wulong 2 comes out. That first game everyone liked, so they're coming out with the second one. State of Decay 3 will show up in a second. Well, I'll go down to the trailer and look at that in a second. State of Decay 3, look, I'm excited for State of Decay, but at the same time, I'm not going to get State of Decay and start playing it day one because it's broke, buggy, and unfinished. State of Decay 1 was like that. State of Decay 2 was like that. And now State of Decay 3, obviously, will be that. Renaissance, A Plague's Tale Legacy looked pretty good. Clockwork Revolution looks really good. And that comes out as exclusive for Xbox next year in 2027. Is that actually 2027? Yeah, that was exclusive in 2027. Then we have Spyro, The Realm Beyond. I personally don't care about Spyro, but there you go. There's a remake, right? Remake of Spyro. Then we have Doom the Dark Ages Revelations is like a DLC pack for that, like a winter thing. We have Persona 4 coming out. We have Castlevania side-scroller, Belmont's Cursed. If you like Castlevania, that's more of that for you. Where the Wind Meets. Was it an update, or is that actually coming to Xbox now? I think that's coming to Xbox now. We have Persona 6 coming out. We have Flight Simulator 2024. Maybe now that actually be fixed. I made a joke about that when I watched it. I was like, great, you're showing stuff for Flight Sim 2024. It's been broke for 2 years. You're still fixing it. Crazy Taxi World Tour. I used to love Crazy Taxi when it was in the arcade. I don't give two shits about it now, I'll be honest. Obviously, it's not meant for me. I'm just saying out loud, I don't give two shits about it. It'll be a fun game to play, but I'm not looking forward to it. Sea of Thieves Custom Seas. I don't know what they're doing with that game. They showed a bunch of small little game modes that you can do, and I was just like, okay, great. That'll be fun for like 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe a half hour. Elder Scrolls Online keeps adding stuff, and they added it to PC Game Pass now, so you can play it on PC Game Pass. We got Fallout 76 Infestation, which is out now. We got Valor Mortis, which looked pretty good. We have Age of Empires 4. Bad Magpie. I don't know what these are. Join Us. Join Us was weird. We'll look at that in a second. And Magicians, The Devil's Deal. That looks like Clockwork Revolution. It looks very strange to me. So we'll talk about that in a second as well. And then this Xbox. They gave Xbox Series X 25 to the people that were in the audience there. I think this looks like a piece of shit. I'll be honest with you. Not like it's going to be. I hated the Xbox that was like this back in the day. I know some of you guys love it. I think this looks like garbage. Not only does it look like garbage, I hate the fact that they put the green buttons, okay, like the green controller, but they left the black and white like solid, on top of it. I was like, what are you doing? And I understand the development, the design thing. They're like, oh, well, let's take the new controller with the old type of body style that we did for the 25th anniversary, but let's leave the white and black for the modern. yeah, it just doesn't look good to me. Great, I'm not going to buy it, and that's why they had to give it out, because I don't think they would sell a lot of these things. Let's see. We got Call of Duty Modern Warfare DMZ first look. Okay, people are really excited about that. I want to bring this up, right? I want you to look at this. I want you to look at Clockwork Revolution. Okay, I want you to look at the graphics of this. Okay, or the art style of this. Why can't I? Okay, like look at the art style of this. It looks very, Unreal Engine-esque type of stuff. Right? I don't even know if they use Unreal Engine. I'm pretty sure they use Unreal Engine, right? You see what this looks like, right? Now I want to go down to, where the hell is it? The Magic one. When I saw this, I thought this one.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on. When I saw this one, I was like, oh, this is Clockwork Orange. Right? Like, look at this. How? It looks so similar to what Clockwork Orange is, or Clockwork Revolution is. It's like the same type of style. And I was very confused by it. It does look good, though, I have to say. Right? It does look good, but I was a little confused when it was happening. I was like, wait, this looks like Clockwork Revolution. Is it Clockwork Revolution? And then all of a sudden, it's the Magic game, and I was like, okay, cool. So these two look very similar. Interested in that. Metro 2039 looks really good. It does look good. Again, I've never played any of the Metro series. I know you guys, same art team. I have no idea, Luke. I have no idea. But the Metro 2039 looks very good. Again, I haven't played any of those. Never played any of the Persona games myself. This game, I want to say this game looked... Hold on one second. This game looked okay. But I feel like this is like the same thing of all the other games that have come out in the past. And I'm not saying that because it's a girl character. You guys know I don't care if it's a girl, female character, or male character, right? I'm just saying of the style of game it looks like. Right? This is basically, again, I understand she's not a god. Right? I understand it's from Plague Tale, but this is what the God of War new game is. This is Xbox's version of that. Right? This is their movie game type of thing. Right? Graphics look good. They look good. Right? I know nothing about Plague Tale. I've never played any of the Plague Tale games. Right? This is like a open world esque type of game. The fighting mechanics look a little clunky. I don't know when the game comes out. Right? It's got puzzles. It looks like right up my alley, to be honest with you. It's got open world. You got the fighting. You got the puzzle solving. Right? So, but the gameplay, like the fighting mechanics, look a little bit of clunky in this. But this should be interesting to see when this game comes out. Waterbear says you should check out the overall scores of the other games. Of other what games, Water? Yeah, it is. It's like if you look at the combat, it's like they're missing frames in between, right? I don't know what it is. It just looks like something. And I don't know if it's the frame generation, if they've done something with this game. Something just looks off about it. And I'm not saying it looks off and like it looks terrible. I'm just noticing something in the fighting style looks a little bit off in it. Let's see. Mo says all the Plague Tales were great. Oh yeah, no, I've heard great things about it. Let's see. That's quick motion, very clunky. Just skip the animations. That's what it seems like. Oh, Plague Tale series. Yeah, but the Plague Tale series, the other Plague Tale games weren't open world, right? They were very on rails for what it is. This seems like an open world game. Looks interesting. Val Mortis, another game. It's like a Napoleon, right? Like you're Napoleon, I believe.
The line between victory and defeat is thin.
Again, they didn't really show gameplay. Here, they didn't really show gameplay of this. Kind of, they did, but very, very little. But this looks interesting as well. And again, a lot of these games are not just coming out for Xbox. They're for all things. They just so happen to get the. So I don't know if this is Napoleon. Are you Napoleon, or are you going up against? Is Napoleon like the boss? Vincent Castle as Napoleon. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Hidden Mountain. We got Wulong. We got Age of Empire. Guilds. Let's see. We don't need any of that. That's garbage. Sea of Thieves. I'm a little... Here, we'll watch this for a second, right? We'll watch this. I'm confused what they're doing with this game now. I really am.
But what if you could make your own Sea of Thieves experience? With our new free update, Custom Seas, you can! Let me explain.
So they're not making anything for the game anymore. They're letting you make
play,
stuff now for the game?
Like Rowboat Royale, where small but bloodthirsty crews duke it out in a furious battle to the death. Just remember to watch out for explosive barrels. Oh, I'm sure they're fine. Or Skeleton Snipe Hunt, where the sharpest shooter with the highest score wins. Or maybe you just want to spawn this. And these, and one of those.
I played Where the Wind Meets for like 45 minutes. And I never went back to play it.
And absolutely loads of these, and, well, you get the idea. You can create a cinematic masterpiece. With enhanced camera tools, you could show romance, action, or tragedy. Or maybe just show the world from a whole new perspective. Or you could even just create a place to hang. Literally, if you want. Or you could come together for a party. Or maybe you want somewhere you can just kick back and relax. Whatever your pirate
Like, can I make my own island?
pursuits may be, we're giving you your own keys to the seas. There's a whole new world of possibility ready to explore. So dive in and unleash
tell you
your
Team
creativity.
Deathmatch,
The tools
hide
are
and
now in
seek,
your hands. What you do with them is up to
Robo
you.
Rally.
Just try not to wreck the place.
I just don't get it. Look, do you think it's in enough places? Huh? Series S, X, PC, Cloud, Xbox One, Battle.net, Steam, PlayStation 5. Yeah. All right, so there's that. That's it. They're not showing anything else. All right, I want to watch this this E-Day behind the scenes because I thought, State of Decay. That's what also we wanted to watch. Let's watch this one real fast.
friends and I used to argue about what ended the world. A weapon. A virus. Something worse. It started in quiet towns. Empty roads. Places the world forgot.
They don't show that much gameplay, which makes me a little worried.
survivors found each other, built walls, pushed back against the night. We'll always have each other's back. Because the world has become more dangerous than ever. The dead aren't just wandering anymore. They hunt. In the end, it doesn't matter what you believe. What matters is that when the dead come through the dark, so do we.
I think the gameplay they're showing here is a vertical slice, by the way. Right, and you see the strategy, obviously, right? It's coming out of the PlayStation 5 and Steam, right? They're telling you right away. Obviously, I'll try this game, right? Because it's on Game Pass. I don't have to purchase this game. But that's also the problem. I think it's because it's on Game Pass, this game is going to come out and it's not going to be complete in any way, shape, or form, just like State of Decay 1, just like State of Decay 2. The trifecta, the third time is not the charm. The third time is going to be exactly like 1 and 2, where they're going to drop the stuff, and yet it's going to be broke, buggy, and unfinished, and you're slowly going to... There's no difference to me when this game comes out and like Grounded 2, right? Grounded 2 is in preview program. This is going to come out. It's going to come out, not in preview. It's going to come out, but it's going to be like a preview because I'm saying this is coming out late next year, not early next year, after summer next year. We're talking like maybe even October, August, September, October of next year. I think this game, even when it comes out next year, is still going to need another 12 to 18 months before it's in working order. So 2028 summer, late 2028 is when basically you'll be like, oh, it's actually good now. But those are my thoughts. All right, so we got State of Decay, we got Spyro. This one, I want to know how they got this one done in, what, 2 years?
You buried your wounds. Left your people behind. Believing time would see them heal. What is left in the dark sickens, and some binds cannot be broken.
This looks much more gameplay-wise than movie-wise, though. I don't know. It's probably another short game. Oh no, 100% alternative. It'll definitely be like a movie-esque. But what I'm saying is they're making it look more action than the past two games, right? But I'm sure it'll be a little bit more action than movie. Still a movie game.
You've heard the story. Halo, the Chief, stuff of
Did we just get raided? Oh, I didn't know that. We got raided by Wizard? Thank you, Wizard.
But that's not the story I'm telling
It didn't pop up on my screen.
This one.
Not until
you
Eclipse
haven't
just
heard.
said something.
Op started simple enough. Drop in, grab the goods, get out before.
I'm not excited about the Halo combat or campaign evolved. And it's not because it's Halo. It's I've already played Halo. I don't care that it's like, you know what I mean? I don't care that it's another Halo game coming out because it's not new. It's just a remake.
Anyone noticed? Well, guess what? They noticed.
Yeah, real quick. Thank you very much for the raid, Wizard. I appreciate that. Those of you that are new here, which is everyone that just came over, if you're here Monday through Thursday, we do a show called The Daily Grind. We just cover news stories, have conversations. If you like it, it's just another, having your cup of coffee or breakfast in the morning. You want to hang out with us. We do this, like I said, Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern, every single week. So welcome. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate it. Yeah, just love it. It's Combat Re-Evolved. Yeah, that's correct.
Now you ready to get to it? You served long enough. You learn to read
I mean, the graphics do look amazing.
the battlefield. This place, more of a freak show.
Yeah, see, Roic, I'm the same, right? Like, it doesn't make me want to replay the game. It makes me wish that they continued with the game and just continued making it better. Like, Halo Infinite was such a minimal viable product when they came out with it, and it was very lackluster. It took them 12 to 18 months to get it up to what par, and then they just abandoned it, right? Instead of going back and redoing the past one, because that's what they're going to do. They're just going to redo all the other ones. I wish they made the next one and did this type of stuff.
And trust me, I know Freaky.
Have you enjoyed your stay so far, Demon?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're on the clock. The thing with simple jobs is, they always get complicated.
I mean, purple's been in the game. It's just now more prominent. Maybe it's because of the saturation they've done.
Plans change. Odds get worse. My advice, bring a Spartan.
I'll be honest, me and Sarge will probably play it on stream. Why, chat? Why will we play it on stream? Go ahead, say it.
Chief, you ever get tired of being the strong, almost silent type?
No.
That comes out soon. That comes out soon. So we got that. And then we got E-Day. There's no reason to watch this because we're gonna go watch the whole thing here, right? I want to watch the behind the scenes or the direct of E-Day because I didn't watch this. I watched the trailer of the stuff, but I haven't watched this. So we're gonna watch this and see what we think about it.
Welcome to the Coalition, here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, home of Gears of War. When Gears debuted in 2006, it instantly
Bro, was it that long ago? My God.
redefined the genre. And now in 2026, we're on the cusp of another rare moment. A chance to honor where we've been, celebrate with our fans, and lay the foundation
The Office graphics are insane.
for where Gears is going next. To get there, we're taking it all the way back to the day the world changed and the fight began, Emergence Day. It's a day of unimaginable loss that sits at the heart of our universe. And today, for the first time, we're ready to take you inside the studio and show you all the ways to play with our new movements, weapons, and modes that will make E-Day the most brutally satisfying Gears yet.
Is that all you got?
Before we talk about what this game is, I think it's important to share why we chose E-Day. When we started this project, we were moving to Unreal Engine 5. There's a new foundation with a blank slate. So we took a moment to
See, why is that though, Roadkill? I know you're making a joke, right? Sort of, right? Why is it that people that wanted the games from Xbox are like, oh no, they have to go, multi-plat. So they went multi-plat. And then people gave them shit for going multi-plat. And then now they're holding an exclusive and now they're dead. Like, make it make sense. Which one is it? Are they supposed to go multi-plat or are they supposed to stay exclusive?
reflect on what makes Gears so special to us and to our fans. And we realize that all of the things that make this world feel so unique, brotherhood, brutality, that melancholy beauty, and over-the-top spectacle, they're all perfectly set up in this one moment in time, E-Day. The moment the Locust ripped through the ground and changed the history of Sarah forever. And to tell that story, we wanted to build an experience that evoked the vibes of the original Gears game. So we started with this one still.
Dude, when Gears came out in 2006, man, the graphics for this game were next level. Like, people are like, how are they doing it? And here we are now, 20 years later, right? And it's still some of the best graphic for a game back then.
From the Mad World trailer. It's Marcus facing down the Locust, defiantly firing into the darkness against overwhelming odds. And we said, this is the emotional core of Gears. This is the tone and feeling that we wanted to build our next game around.
This is our most ambitious game yet. E-Day is a story we haven't been able to tell before because we didn't have the technology to do it. We finally have the tools to reimagine the Gears world at a new, unprecedented level of detail.
It does look good.
We're pushing Gears to new heights with the densest, most detailed world we've ever created. With seamless, large-scale environments.
It's even worse from up here.
Fully dynamic ray trace lighting. And richer real-time destruction. Starting with an empty hard drive, we literally rebuilt everything from scratch. Characters, enemies, weapons, animation, sound, the world itself.
Because she is reading from a cue card. These are developers, Water. They're not actors. They're reading from a teleprompter.
And then we tear it apart in front of you.
Watch out! Coming down!
You'll fight against bigger and more brutal enemies with new and craftier weapons and navigate the battlefield with more natural character movement so that every moment of emergence plays smoother and hits harder.
This is a game that feels like Gears, but plays like new.
Now, we're inside.
It's a return to the feelings that we had when we played the original games, but now reimagined, evolved, and enhanced with the power of a new engine.
E-Day is set before the events of the original Gears of War. After decades of conflict, peace has finally been declared on Sarah, and the Gears have returned home.
For all about 3 seconds.
Love you, baby.
Marcus Phoenix and Dominic Santiago are young veterans trying to adjust to civilian life while grieving the loss of someone they both loved.
Wait, the only thing they did for Nintendo, Travis, was just the remaster of what? Was it Zelda? We don't ever watch Nintendo on here because we get hit all the time from them.
Carlos Santiago, Dom's older brother and Marcus's best friend.
To Carlos.
To Carlos. Best fucking brother anyone could ask for.
Carlos died in combat.
Here's the thing. Leading up to this game when it comes out, do we play all the Gears leading up to this and then play the new one? Or do we wait, play the new one, and then play all the other ones because this is a prequel? Which way would you guys play it?
In a moment of sacrifice before the war ended, and without him, Marcus and Dom's relationship is distant.
The emotion from our refinery kept power.
With the world just barely on the cusp of peace and our characters coming to terms with their new reality, the locusts emerge and change everything.
The Coalition Emergency Broadcast System. There are reports of multiple tremors causing minor damage across Kelowna.
E-Day tells not one, but two origin stories. The start of this world falling apart and a brotherhood coming together. And over the course of 3 intense days, you'll see how loss reshapes this world and our characters, beginning with a night of desperate survival in a brand new city.
The city almost looks like Gotham. Do you know what I mean? It almost looks like a Gotham Knights city.
We decided to focus our story on just one city, so you could really feel...
You hear that, Todd? You hear that? The Gears team didn't decide to go make nine different planets that you can go explore. They said, we're going to work on one city and make it the most detailed goddamn thing you've ever seen in a video game. Todd's like, we're going to make 1,000 planets with nothing on 995 of them.
What war does to people. When we started creating Kelowna, we wanted it to be more than just a backdrop. We wanted to feel alive, like it was another character in the story.
It's almost like Gotham, because Gotham is a character. Like Gotham, the city of Gotham is a character in the Batman series. I think they're capturing the same thing here with Gears.
With layers and personality. Kelowna used to be all about innovation and discovery. But years of industrialization for the Cog War effort totally reshaped it. With such a rich history, it made sense to lean into that classic Gears retro vibe. Towering architecture, robust vehicles, and grounded technology. Kind of like those gritty industrial cities from the 1970s. We also looked right outside these windows at the mountains, the ocean, and local landmarks.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game.
Kelowna its unique style. As you play the campaign, the city reveals itself.
This is a game I would buy, but I don't have to.
To the main districts. The historic center with its classic Gears architecture in stone and steel. The downtown core, more modern, reshaped by decades of industrial growth. The military airfield, set at the forest edge with shipyards nearby. The refinery.
I think it is water. I don't know. They didn't say it was open world, but I'm assuming, like you're saying, like open world-esque, I would assume.
And supporting working class neighborhoods, built around constant emulsion production.
Gears plays best in a city, and Kelowna is the ultimate battlefield. Kelowna's density, tight streets, mixed with open spaces, let us rethink how a gear moves.
See, if we just waited just a second more, Water, he would have answered it for you. So there's open spaces, but not like open world.
Moves through the world, and it created the perfect stage for greater scale and verticality in combat. Our soldiers are basically giant tanks in armor. They slam into cars, weaving through hails of bullets. And we wanted to keep that heaviness, but add more fluidity to how you move through the battlefield. Cover is life in Gears. And we've completely rebuilt our movement and cover systems, with smoother transitions and a bigger range of cover heights and shapes, including new low ground cover. This all
Well, that's cool.
allows us to create more complex and organic feeling spaces.
Well, I'm going to back up for a second.
And we've completely rebuilt our movement and cover systems with smoother transitions and a bigger range of cover heights and shapes, including new low ground cover. And this all allows us to create more complex and organic feeling spaces than ever before. From sprint, you can now slide, which lets you quickly get under objects.
This is going to be interesting to see how the multiplayer works, right? Like when I see this in the single player, this is gonna make the multiplayer so much more harder for a lot of people, right? Because of all the different, now you can jump and climb, right? You're sliding.
Slide around corners or transition more smoothly into cover from a run. And we added the ability to jump, which really...
That's big. I know it's so stupid. Remember that we always talk about the bar, right? The bar of Gears has been set, right? Now they're taking it and giving you just a little bit more, right? The low cover, the jumping, right? Just going a little bit more of what Gears was, and now they're adding to it.
Opened up this citywide battleground. We get to play with more verticality, climbing walls and vehicles, or clearing gaps in crumbling buildings to reach new flanking routes. At the heart of our gameplay is still that great Gears combat puzzle. A mix of unique enemy combinations.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. This is almost going to feel like recently what we played with Space Marines, like Space Marines 2. Playing co-op with people with this is going to feel good when you play the campaign.
Tactical weapon choices. And your ability to read and move through the arena. But now you have more choice than ever, and we get these peaks of almost action movie sequences. You can throw yourself off a balcony, land next to your buddy and revive him, scramble through cover, slide under a truck, and hit safety on the other side.
That's cool.
We get these amazing Gears playgrounds, small and large, where all these elements come together, and the city is filled with them.
Our missions move across the city, from linear fights in narrow streets and alleys to more open districts, where you have access to entire neighborhoods.
Oh, now you have. There you go. See, so yeah, it's open world-esque, not open world.
Strategic choices. Do you take the enemy head on? Do you flank them from a side entrance? Or do you climb up to the balcony across the street and take them all out with your long shot? It's up to you. And if you're playing co-op with your friends, well, then you can try all three at the same time. Taking your own path reveals small stories from the city. Survivors trapped in an apartment.
There's a civilian in that building, 4th floor.
A raven crashed in the distance. A group of Gears readying an ambush.
Oh. So there's going to be little points of interest in the city that you could find, so you don't have to stay on the beaten path. That's cool.
Still have your orders, but it's up to you to decide where you offer to help or how much of the city you choose to explore.
And that city is fully realized. To create a city of this scale and detail, we needed to invest in an entire suite of tools. Tools for roads, intersections, sidewalks, e-holes, buildings, rooftops, and pipes. We have a procedural content generation toolset for scattering millions of pieces of trash and debris across the ground to make Kelowna feel lived in. This is the largest, most complex location you've ever seen in a Gears game.
But the board control is connected to an older antenna. I can reconfigure their radios to reach Afira.
Yeah, but Travis, I don't think there's any game like that, right? If you're a person that doesn't own the opposite box right now, right? You're a Sony guy, you don't own an Xbox. I have an Xbox, I don't have a PlayStation. There's not one game that PlayStation showed me that I would pay $900 for a box. And I would assume it's the same for people that have a PlayStation looking at a game over here going, yeah, I'm not going to pay $800 for an Xbox. And this is the fundamental problem with video games right now, the video game industry right now, is that they're showing these games, right? But when you saw a game like this in the past, the dive-in part of it was $300 back in the day. $250, $300. Now you're asking for $600, $700, $800, $900. The industry is going to be for a rude awakening when they figure out all these games come out and they're like, no one's fucking buying them because no one's affording the actual consoles to play it on. Now, at least this, if you want to play this, if you truly wanted to play Gears and you didn't own an Xbox or a PC, you can, if you have a smart television set, you can literally just pay a monthly fee for 1 month, buy a controller or get a compatible controller, and then play it on your smart TV with Game Pass for 1 month. What does that set you back? $100, right? Because you have to buy the controller. Maybe buy a controller for $40, right? Then all of a sudden now you pay 1 month of Game Pass. There you go. Much easier.
Do it. The remaining Gears will hold the fort.
In other Gears games, the world's basically already dead. There are very few human survivors left. But in E-Day, you're watching a live city get...
You don't got to tell me, Water. I'm the one that told everybody that cloud gaming is going to be, 6 to 7 years. We're 2 years in. We got 5 more years to go. I've been a big component of cloud gaming when I go on vacation and stuff and play games. You don't see the lag. You don't notice it. It's getting even better and better now.
Ripped apart in front of you. People who once went to work...
That's the reason I brought it up just enough. I was like, do I play this first because it's a prequel and then play the rest? Or leading up to this game launching, we play all the other Gears and then play this one last because it's going to play the best, right? With all the new mechanics. If you play this game first and then go backwards, even though they're, the future from this game, from the story standpoint, it's going to feel a lot worse playing the game because you won't be able to jump afterwards. So I'm thinking maybe I play the old games first leading up to E-Day, and then we play E-Day.
Work, sporting events, and celebrated the possibility of peacetime are now stopped in their tracks. They abandon their cars and run for survival, attempting to find refuge in subways or stores. A glimpse of a child's toy or dinner left uneaten are reminders of what's been lost and the horror of what the locusts have unleashed.
You'll experience the locust decimation at all scales in E-Day through our customized destruction technology. E-holes are back, unleashing waves of enemies from under your feet at any moment.
As a game design element, getting to use E-holes again as a spawn mechanic is
I already played all the other ones. They're not going to spoil anything for me.
brilliant. Locusts can come out of the ground anywhere. You can toss a grenade in to close them up. It just adds this great tactical layer to encounters.
Waterbear says, it's almost as they're overpricing hardware to push us into cloud-based gaming. Yeah, imagine that. Who said that before?
But you'll also encounter massive sinkholes that'll pull down vehicles and entire buildings. And no amount of detail is too small, as micro-destruction goes beyond what we've ever done before with chippable cover across a range of materials. Your impact is real, visceral, and leaves a mark on the world. Destroyed Beauty has long been a visual pillar of Gears of War, and we finally get to show the before, making the after hit that much harder.
This looks good. This looks good.
You'll recognize a neighborhood that was once intact is now completely destroyed. You'll walk through city streets filled with smoke and fire, and it feels completely different from how you first experienced it.
Come on, Senator.
You start getting this real feeling of the city's a character, and it's really under attack. It's the fall.
I did say it. Before I even saw this, I was like, the city looks like Gotham. Gotham is a character in Batman. This looks like a character inside of Gears, right? The city looks alive. It looks beaten. You get to destroy it. It is. It's a character of the game.
Of Kelowna.
Well, to be fair, Just Enough, right? Just Enough says, man, fuck the cloud until it gives everyone lag-free FPS multiplayer. Remember the conversation we had like a year ago when I found out that most of the people that play online are playing through fucking Wi-Fi? I'm just saying. The people that play through Wi-Fi are going to have the same, maybe a better experience if they just played multiplayer through the cloud. Honest to God. Because the people that are playing through Wi-Fi are having the exact same problems with hit detection and everything else if they're not hooked up to the actual wire.
E-Day is an intentionally intimate story. There's this colossal event going on in the plot, but the actual characters and the journey they go on is where you get to explore themes of burden, of loss, and of loyalty. The whole world of Gears is about characters. It's the nightmarish monsters from below versus the soldiers that hold the line in a war for survival.
You okay?
Right. If you're not even wired, wait, if you aren't wired, don't even talk to me. That's right. I can't believe when you guys told me, yeah, no, I'm not even plugged in. I play first-person shooter games. I'm like, huh? What?
No way this is real. It's pretty fucking real to me. On your feet.
This was our opportunity to focus on what makes Gears characters so special and what makes our enemies so iconic. The entire campaign
That's a badass figure.
Is played from the perspective of our new squad, Bravo. As the invasion breaks out, you'll meet Mags Carter, a former Gear now sweating it out at Kelowna's emulsion refinery.
Now, why don't you come talk shit when your balls drop?
Guess what? She dies. I don't remember her in any of the other Gears. She's dead.
Quit going.
This guy's dead too. I don't remember him either.
Through my stuff.
And you'll also meet rookie cadet Lucas Reyes. A sharp comms officer who never made it to the front lines despite his dreams of military glory.
Holy fucking shit.
Megs and Lucas, together with Marcus and Dom, are 4 soldiers thrown together, fighting through tensions with each other while fighting the Locusts, ultimately forging their bonds in battle.
We follow Bravo Squad with our cinematic cameras, just like the intense war movies we love. The shots are intentionally gritty and a bit shaky, and leaning into these rough edges is what makes you feel like you're right in the middle of the action.
This looks great.
Bravo's story also intertwines with others called to defend the city, including returning characters like warrior philosopher Ty Caliso.
Our roads converge again. Marcus Phoenix.
Ty. I used to use him a lot in the multiplayer.
And fans of the books will finally get to see the hard-ass Raven pilot Gil Gettner in-game for the very first time.
Let's go and fuck this mess.
Marcus and Dom are absolute legends. You can spot those strong jaws and thick necks from a mile away. But if you go too realistic, you lose those unique features that make them stand out. Honestly, Marcus just isn't Marcus if you take away his classic perma-scout. So instead of chasing perfect realism, we focused on making them believable and memorable, respecting the details that really make them who they are.
Material and character fidelity in Gears of War E-Day far surpasses anything we've been able to achieve before. Our facial animation systems have been completely upgraded for E-Day, with 3 times more joints and over 350 facial shapes sculpted for each head alone to really represent the emotion in our characters. Marcus has more detail in his eyelashes than his entire character model did.
I'm sorry. Did she just say more detail in his eyelashes than all of his past? What?
Has more detail in his eyelashes than his entire character model did in the original Gears of War on
That's crazy to think about that. The graphics back in the day when it first came out were amazing, right? You're like, holy Christ, how are they doing this in 2006? And now they're pushing, I would say, I mean, obviously the ceiling's the ceiling, right? The ceiling's the ceiling, okay? But the graphics look much more intense than the past Gears as well. But to have more detail in his eyelashes than all the original game, that's crazy.
Xbox 360.
Phoenix. Marcus. Sergeant, 26 RTI C Company. Next to kin, Adam Phoenix.
With the amount of layers we have, we've never had fidelity at this scale. Combined with a much more sophisticated animation rig, this allows us to have way more expressive characters with a huge range. From a small smirk to yells on the battlefield.
Come and get some, you goddamn grubs!
Your experience takes on a new intensity. We're pushing the graphical limit with 4K Ultra HD resolution, native. Your experience takes on a new intensity.
Sorry, my son came in and asked me a question.
We're pushing the graphical limit with 4K Ultra HD resolution, native HDR10 rendering, hardware ray tracing at 60 frames per
120 frames per second on the console?
second in campaign, and up to 120 frames per second in multiplayer.
120 frames per second in multiplayer?
When it comes to the Locusts, to make them more believable, we made them scarier. The drones are wild and vicious. The boomers are even bigger this time around.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that, Altern. I don't know if I believe 120 frames per second in multiplayer. Well, we'll see.
Like living battering rams smashing through doorways onto the battlefield. The wretches scream so loud it disorients you before they rip you apart. And the Reavers, they crawl up buildings. And rain fire.
My son's making his breakfast. He's like, no, I can do it. Right? He's like, so he's just making pancakes. The pancakes we already made and put in the microwave. And he comes in, he's like, where are they? So I tell him. And then he's like, how long do you put them in? I go, wouldn't it be easier if I just make them for you?
From above. Basically, the whole Locust army, whether new or old, are more intense than ever before.
So what now, Marcus? We save everyone we can.
Gears of War has never been a horror game, but the world has always felt horrifying. And with E-Day, we lean into that even more. Our new gore system means damage feels meaty, responsive, and satisfying.
Now, Grandma and Grandpa are here, so they're outside. Otherwise, I'd go out there and do it.
That was satisfying. Muscle and cloth deforms in response to your attacks, and blood and bone damage adds to the intensity of combat. Gore is localized as well. Shoot a Locust in the arm or leg, and you'll see the bullet take a chunk out of it.
That's cool.
Or land a heavy shot on a limb, and our dismemberment system will rip it clean off in glorious detail.
The Nasha is going to get you the most satisfying shots, covering you in blood, or pop heads from afar with the long shot.
This is the first game I'm really excited for. All right? Like, I knew it was coming. I didn't think it was coming out this year. I'm excited for this. And look, if it's broke, buggy, and unfinished, our rule is no day one, no full price for a half-ass game, right? No pre-orders, no day one, no full price for a half-ass game. Well, it's on Game Pass day one, so you're not paying full price, right? I don't have to pre-order it, right? I can play it day one, but I'm not paying full price. So if it is broke, glitchy, buggy, it's okay, because if you have Game Pass, you don't have to pay full price for it. You see what I'm saying?
We've revamped our favorite weapons for E-Day. And of course, we also have some fun new ones for even more brutal ways to tear your enemies apart. The new Gut Puncher grenade launcher is a COG weapon that fires armor-piercing explosive rounds. Quick fire a round to let it explode, or hold the trigger.
You don't want it to hit them. You want it to hit next to them.
Control when it detonates. That means you can place a well-timed explosion behind an enemy protected by cover, or with practice, master its long-range eco closing potential. The Incinerator is our new shotgun. You can see the emulsion literally melt the skin off an enemy's body.
Oh, that's cool.
Before, you'd probably get into a grapple if an enemy came charging at you. Now, you feel the power of getting to incinerate them when they get close. And of course,
wait a minute, I want to watch that again.
Them when they get close. course, the Lancer.
Nice.
The creation of the Chainsaw Lancer is another origin story from lore that we wanted to show in E-Day. From the moment that Ty grabbed that chainsaw to rip through a locust at the superstore, to a prototype kit bash on the front lines of the invasion, all to deliver.
I kind of wish they didn't tell us that. I kind of wish they just didn't tell us that. I wish they would have kept that quiet until the game came out.
On that gratifying moment when you finally get to slice a grub in two.
Gears music has always been about tension, escalation, and release. When a fight kicks off, the music hits hard. It tightens as things get more dangerous. And when you've dropped the last enemy, you hear that familiar big ringing chord. For E-Day,
yeah, that core is, infamous. You know what I mean? Like when you hear that thing, you're like, oh, yeah, it's very satisfying.
We kept that structure, but made the sound harsher. Together with our composer, Adam Lastica, we built the score to match a world on the verge of collapse. The electric guitar returns alongside...
No, I understand that, Eclipse. He literally just said that. They showed Ty with the chainsaw, but then they said, oh, they make the gun in the game. It would have been nice to find that out in the game, not during the direct that they just did.
Classical instruments, but both are pushed into uncomfortable territory. Like dragging a bone saw across a cello, creating dissonance that never fully resolves.
Where the hell are we?
And then there's the sound design.
I took a class in doing sounds like this when I was in school over 20 years ago. It was awesome. I told you guys the story of how we had to take like cartoons and we had to make all the sounds for it. So like robots walking and all these different things, and you had to make all the sound effects for the movies we were filming. It was awesome. It really is awesome.
All chainsaws have voices. When it came to the sound for our Proto Lancer, it was important to us to track down the exact make and model that was recorded back in 2006 and rebuild it from the ground up using our new sound effects system. This chainsaw has a 14-inch blade with that signature meaty yet intimate sound, and when it revs, you can hear all the gnarly details. In terms of how you'll experience Kelowna, I always think about our acoustic system like this. I'm walking down a street and I hear the sound reflecting off the walls around me. Then I step into an alley and everything immediately tightens. I come back out into a wide space and the sound opens up again, almost like a cathedral.
That's cool.
And it's not just those spaces, it's the transitions between them where the magic really happens. That's where things feel alive. That's acoustics in real time. It's a heavy world. And what better way to experience its dread and tension than through the music and sound that surrounds you?
No other game does the squad like Gears does. Our themes, our gameplay, and our modes, they all revolve around this core element. But it's not just about the brotherhood that you experience in the stories. It's also about the bonds you create with your friends. Co-op has always been a part of our DNA. And like every great Gears game, you can bring your own squad to this fight. In campaign, all 4 characters are playable from the start. And we support 4-player online co-op and 2-player split screen on console.
Wait a minute. You could play 2-player split screen
from the start. And we support 4-player online co-op and 2-player split screen on console. In Versus, our sweaty squad-based PvP is back, with a collection of 4v4 modes and all new maps set.
You see 44 modes? Or is that 4v4 modes?
4-player online co-op and 2-player split screen on console. In Versus, our sweaty squad-based PvP is back with a collection of 44 modes.
Okay, 4v4. I was like, 44? I was like, wait a minute. I was like, stop it. I was like, you don't have 44 modes.
And all new maps set in locations in and around the war-torn city of Kelowna. We've combined classic Gears symmetrical PvP map design with new traversal opportunities. You'll put your skill to the test alongside a seasonal roadmap of killer content, almost all of which you can just earn by playing the...
Bro, what is that? That's going to cost money. It's going to cost money?
Alongside a seasonal roadmap of killer content, almost all of which you can just earn by playing the game, completing in-game challenges, events, and achievements.
Right. Buy the pass, then complete it by just playing the game.
And today, we're excited to announce a dynamic new evolution of Gears' iconic PvE mode, Horde Siege. It's a 12-player mode where all
12 players siege mode.
3 squads fight alongside each other to battle the Locust Invasion and defend Kelowna across a range of city-based maps. We'll have more to share soon.
Oh, that's cool. 12-player co-op PvE.
And we hope you join us for our open beta weekends later this summer.
We good? Sergeant Phoenix?
Guess we're back to it.
We can't outrun the past. But as long...
Waters says, if you're playing with us, please, no fucking Wi-Fi. Yeah. If you're going to play with us, make sure you got a hardwire in.
We're still breathing. We're the ones that keep fighting.
20 years of Gears is such a milestone. It is such an honor and also a huge responsibility to make sure we deliver on the story of Gears.
It always comes back to the squad. It always comes back to this theme of getting through the absolute shittiest of times with somebody else who constantly has your back. And that's Marcus and Dom's story. The story of the original trilogy. The story of E-Day. And the story I think we can all relate to.
Thanks for pushing through. Couldn't have done it alone. You got it, man.
Having the opportunity to have E-Day come out in the same year as the 20th anniversary of Gears, the quarter-century anniversary of Xbox, it's almost like a homecoming. It's like returning back to our roots and saying, fuck yeah, we're back. And we have so many more stories to tell. It's an incredible honor and one that we want to make sure that we do right.
Do you think they do, speaking of Space Marines 2, like we did earlier, do you think that they take Gears E-Day, and we're seeing this with 007, right? 007 just came out, and they're constantly going to be adding content, right? They have a year one, like, content they're doing. Space Marines did year 1, year 2, and now they're going to go on. They said they're going to do year 3. Do we think that Gears is going to do the same thing, like Gears War E-Day? Problem with this is, don't get me wrong here, I don't know the time frame. Obviously, it takes place before, but I don't know how far before. Do we think E-Day gets consistent content update for the next like 2-3 years, like a Space Marines 2, like a 007, like a, you know what I mean? Like, and obviously they have a small window of canonically how far they can go, because I don't know how far along this is compared to Gears 1. Like, what's the time frame? Because this whole game takes place 3 days, right? That's the canonical time frame of this game. It takes place in 3 days of when the E-Day happens. That's what you're following. So how far is Gears 1 after the 3 days that you're playing in this game? That's what I wonder. Eclipse says the first one was 10 years before E-Day. Okay, so that means they have 10 years to play with. Now, if they have 10 years to play with from this to that, obviously, do you think they make more games, like official games in between, or do they just keep kind of, did they learn their lesson from Halo, what they wanted to do with the Infinite, and do they just keep updating it, sort of like I said, Space Marines or 007, or even Grand Theft Auto Online type of thing?
Ty, nightmare.
Untouched by nearly 80 years of war. Destroyed in 2 nights.
For us, the heart of Gears has always been about the bonds you make in the darkest of times. Inside the studio, we rally around a simple phrase: never fight alone. It guides how we build our stories, our gameplay, and our world. It's how we work as a team and the commitment we make to you, our fans. Everything comes back to that important idea of sharing life's experiences, the highs and lows, together. And E-Day is the best expression of never fight alone that we've ever made. Whether you'll be picking up a Lancer for the first
where he says 80 years of not being touched and then in 2 days completely destroy it.
time ever, or you're as battle-hardened as Marcus Phoenix, there's always a place for you in the Gears squad when Emergence begins on October 6th.
That looks very good. It looks very good. I'm excited. I'm finally excited for a first-party title Xbox game 6 years in. Isn't that nice? Isn't there, like we were like, oh, that looks okay. That looks good, right? I'm excited for this one. I want to know. I know Travis. You're saying, oh, who said that? Was it Travis? Oh. Mo says it can be another trilogy. This game is about first 3 days. Sure, but I don't think the way the industry is, Mo, that's why I'm bringing up Space Marines 2 and even like SnowRunners. SnowRunners came out. They keep adding DLC, keep adding stuff to it. Do they do that with E-Day, where they just keep adding? And let's say E-Day takes, canonically, the game takes the first 3 days. If the DLC comes out, does it take place, within the first month or the first year? Since Eclipse said there's 10 years in between E-Day and Gears 1. So yeah, you're right. They could make a complete trilogy. I'm just wondering what they keep adding and in the timeline, how far do they go with it? Yeah, I'm excited about that. It just turns out that they fucked up big time on Halo. They did. They screwed up big time with Halo Infinite. They wanted to make it one game, and they turned it into another. They didn't support it like they wanted to. It fell apart. They wanted to make an open world type of game. They just didn't give it the love and tender care they wanted to. They're putting more effort into redoing all the campaigns, because obviously Campaign Involved is the first step in the rest of them that they're going to do. To release them for PlayStation and whatnot. It's a testing ground, but at the same time, graphically, they're going to update all the other ones, I would assume. Just Enough says, Horde mode won't be 120 frames per second. Yeah, when they said 120 frames per second for multiplayer, I'm like, press X for doubt. I don't know if that's going to work like that. Treating Gears like a big deal and not Halo, it's just plain wrong. But what do you mean? Treating Gears like it so happens that Halo had its time. They fumbled the ball. Like literally, Xbox fumbled the ball. We talked about this years ago when they're coming out with Halo Infinite, and they took Halo off of the packaging to put Starfield. They did that. We didn't do that. What do seasons look like? The next thing. Gears of War, game leading up to E-Day. Gears should be removed from Game Pass. Why? Why should it be removed from Game Pass? Travis says, Gears a big deal. Sorry, but as a guy who had 360 Gears and Halo were equally important. Sarge says, like I said, bro, remakes and remasters, no gambling on IP. I mean, well, this is new. This is not a remake or remastered. Halo is why Xbox exists. Sorry. Yeah, but I don't know what you're arguing for. Like, what is your stance here? Gears is also a good IP for Xbox. What are you complaining about? You're mad because now you're like eating your own. You're a Halo guy and hate that Gears is getting the spotlight, even though Halo Infinite had the spotlight when they had it. I'm confused where you stand here. Mo says, Mike, did you hear that Asha tried to get every game exclusive, but it was too much to break the contracts, but she also did pull Halo from PlayStation Showcase and pass them off. Yeah, but they're still releasing Halo on PlayStation. So she tried to get them all done, like Fable and all of them, to be exclusive. I mean, that would have been a ballsy move. That would have been a ballsy move. And I think they could have done it because they're still putting it on PC. So it's still multi-plat, regardless if they were take it away from PlayStation or not. Sinner says, didn't I tell you 30? Mass co-op in the next big trend. 12-player co-op horde mode is going to be huge. I mean, I've always said, Sinners, that PvE is always larger than PvP, and co-op is much more popular than the other thing. People love playing games together. Literally, since the beginning of time, like, people love playing co-op games together. Nintendo knew that. Sega knew that. Because I want to see it sell. But it will sell. Here's where I'm confused about where your stance is, right? Xbox is just a company. Do you work for Xbox? Do you get residuals from the sales of Xbox or any video games that they sell? If the answer is yes, then we'll go to a different route. If the answer is no, and you're just a person that likes to play video games on Xbox, why does it matter to you if they sell, if this is their game plan? Their game plan is they want you to play on Game Pass. That is their strategy. They do not want to make video games. They want to make video games in the cloud and digital 100%. They don't want you to own a console. The reason that they're fighting it right now is because there's still a small group of people that want to buy a plastic box because they like to collect stuff. They like to do stuff. So they're like, okay, we'll make one for you. But because there's less people buying consoles, they have to make them more expensive to offset the costs. Okay? So now that you have an Xbox, you can buy the game if you want to, right? And you as a gamer can just buy that game and you can enjoy it because their business model is, oh, we're putting this on Game Pass because we want people to play it on Game Pass. So now you can purchase it if you want to, or you can play it on Game Pass, or you could buy it on PC. New trailer for Cyclops and Rivals dropped. All right, let me check that out. Let's check it out. Let me refresh. I don't see it up on the... I don't see it on Twitter. There it is. Okay. Is it a trailer or is it more just the... I'll go to Miller's thing. Hold on one second. That's that. That's the trailer. There it is.
Victory is in my sight.
I'm excited about
Right
it.
on target! Get off my lawn! Full blast!
Does he have the big ray? Come on. Ultimate's big ray.
Extreme force! Propulsion beam! No more holding back! Optic Fury! To me, my X-Men.
Now, you let me play him in some PvE modes because I don't really like playing against the PvP type of stuff. Right? Give me some PvE modes that I can use him in. That looks dope. Warbear says, sounds like an X-Boy fanboy who is confused about Xbox is a buy going back to exclusive at the last minute. Gears was great on the 360. Halo was there day one. Sure. But who are you fighting with? I don't understand who you're fighting with. You're like fighting within the Halo. I'm not a Halo guy. I'm not an Xbox guy. I'm not a PlayStation guy. I'm a gamer, right? I don't care if Halo was out first or Gears is out first. Gears looks great. Halo could have been that. It wasn't. They fucked the ball. Okay, they screwed it up when they were putting it out there for Halo Infinite. They chased the trend. They lost. That was their choice. Now, let's play a different version here. Let's say Halo Infinite came out and it was amazing. And it was just one of the best Halos they've ever created. Would we be having this conversation? No, you wouldn't be having this conversation because you would have liked the game. They screwed up on Halo. They don't want to screw up again, so they're making Gears. Maybe the next Halo comes out, the actual next Halo, not the remake of Halo, and it actually doesn't fuck it up. Jason says, so exclusive's a good thing now? Eclipse says, yeah, I think this is some of the contract. This is why they got Helldivers probably. Life is a co-op game with occasional PvP. Gears will sell no matter it being on Game Pass. You're going to get the people, 2, 3, 4, 5 million people, just like I said for Wolverine, that will play Gears. Then everybody else will play it on Game Pass. Then other people will pick it up on PC. An additional 1.5, 2 million people will pick it up there. Rogue says that, but they fumbled the Halo very badly. If Halo Infinite would have come out and it was amazing, it would have been a different story. And the remastering of the old game isn't groundbreaking. Exactly. You forgot that it's coming out in October with the Modern Warfare 4 month. But what does that have to do? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Are you a gamer or are you a stockholder for Microsoft? Like I'm confused. Halo is never going to be what it was. Its best days are behind it. I think they could make it better. It's just the group that's making it now. Obviously, they're outsourcing a lot of the Halo. That's what the news report said. Right? They made a Halo studio exclusive for Halo, and yet they're outsourcing Halo. Travis says, so Mike, let's discuss how Wolverine looks amazing and bloody. Yeah, it does. It does look amazing and bloody. At the same time, though, I don't like some of the choices they've created, with one being Jean Grey. 2, it looks a little bit too much on the rails for my liking, but it doesn't really matter what I think about the game, Travis, if it's good or bad, because I'm not going to be getting it because I'm not paying $900 for a PlayStation. Come on, Sweat Dog. Yeah, I had a fantastic trip. It was awesome. Justin Love says, why do people want Gears removed from Game Pass? I don't think people want it. I think Albania wants it removed so it sells better. Jason says the past few characters has been so busted, so I expect the trend to continue. Yeah, I don't think they care about the busted stuff. And I said this over before that game actually launched, Jason. We talked about the team ups, and then we talked about the, if people are OP or not. And I said they're going to add single player stuff. They're not going to care about if they're overpowered or not, because you can vote people out for certain, if you're playing ranked and whatnot. And then the team matchups kind of bring that back to center. The more power there is, the better you feel. This is why I want PvE stuff. I want Halo to be treated with respect. Don't bring up Infinite. This is about Evolved. I'm confused. What would you want them to do with Evolve? They made a remaster of Evolved. What were they supposed to do? And how can I not bring up Infinite when it's Halo? You're talking about Halo. Gamers know when the games they want drops months ahead of time. Oh, 100%. Jesse Mack says Gears of War E-Day will be cooking Modern Warfare this year. I don't know about that. Modern Warfare could be the shittiest game, point proven this year, was one of the worst Call of Duties, and still sold over 10 million, 12 million copies. Yeah, exactly, Water. COD will be on sale for like 20 plus million. Gears isn't outselling Wolverine. Does it matter? I'm confused. Here we go again. Everyone's getting a measuring tape out to see who's got the bigger dick. Does it matter? How about this, Travis? How about you worry about Wolverine selling more than the other first-party title games that haven't sold on Xbox, or I'm sorry, on PlayStation, right? Because Astrobot sold 3.3. Ghost of Yote sold 3.3. What's the other one that just came out? Sold like 300, 400,000, right? Don't PlayStation guys shouldn't worry about Xbox guys, and Xbox guys shouldn't worry about PlayStation guys. Worry about how your own people are not buying first-party title games and why. That's what you should worry about. Altered says, so we're going to talk about Amanda Waller from Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is in every video game now. She is the Pedro Pascal of video games. Sweat says, I think the only thing that matters is enjoying the game that you're playing. Exactly. We talk about numbers and stuff if games sell because everyone's like, oh, it's a great game. I'm like, yeah, it could be a great game, but it also didn't sell well. Right? Both things can be true at the same time. You could like the game and it also doesn't sell well. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Here, let's look at what Gears has sold. Okay. Gears of War franchise has officially sold 41 million copies worldwide, generating over $1 billion lifetime, right? Gears of War 2 peaked at approximately 6.75 million units sold, right? Gears sold 3 million copies in the first week and sold 6.22 million lifetime sales. God of War, the original, surpassed 6 million sales, lifetime sales, and Gears of War Reloaded release recently expanded the franchise, tracking over 1.3 million total players across PC and console, right? So what do we think that Gears will sell? I'm going to say around 4 to 5 million copies. And it would be successful, right? It would be successful. It could sell more, but probably not because of the amount of consoles that are out there. There's only 28 to 30 million units out there, actual consoles. I don't think they sell that many. Now, do people buy Xboxes? Sure, you might get 500,000, maybe get 1 million people, maybe to purchase a new console that are not on it already. But a lot of people are going to purchase it either through PC, additional 1 million to 2 million people, and or play it on Game Pass. And that's $30. That's what it is. So for every person, or I'm sorry, it's $22. So for every 3 people that get Game Pass for that month, that counts as like one sale, basically, if they sold the game itself. That's the way they look at it, right? They're trying to get the people to come in, get it for the $22, and then keep them in there by putting other stuff on there every single month. I think it sells 4 to 5 million. And then you get an additional 1.5 to 2 million on PC. Let's see. Microsoft is not really specific official lifetime sales of the number on PC. It says PC sales make up a minority of the franchise total player base. Yeah, so they don't even sell it. So Gears of War Reloaded in 2025 sold anywhere between 87,000 and 140,000 units on Steam. Okay. Gears 5 in 2019 estimated sold 1 million to 2 million units on Steam. Again, so we're talking a fraction of what it is. So there you go. I don't think it changes. I think Gears stays exactly the same. I don't think we have an explosion where all of a sudden Gears all of a sudden E-Day sells 15 million copies. I don't see that happening. Let me see what you guys are saying. Saint says, but my PlayStation is just a box that has no games. So I must talk about the other consoles. Sweat Dog says, I'm not a COD guy anymore. One, I used to be, but I get why my friends enjoy it still. Mo says, Mike, you need to be stop being logical, damn it. Yeah, I know. My logical stuff always comes through. Luke says 3 to 4 million. Waterbear says 4 to 5. COD 20 to 25 mil because actually it looks good this year. Yeah, even if it didn't look good, it would still sell 10 to 15. As Luke says, plus Game Pass players will be around 7 to 9 million players. Oh yeah, they'll be. I think it'll actually be about even. I think, Luke. I think it'll be about 3 to 4 million people buy it, and I think about another 3 to 4 million people play it. Sweat Dog says, question 30. If I download Gears on Game Pass, is that a sale? I'll be honest, I don't look into sales of games. No, it wouldn't be counted as a sale. That would be part of the player thing that they do. And the only reason I say when it comes out, so let's say it comes out, when does it come out? October what? When does E-Day come out? E-Day release date is October 6th. Okay. So October 6th comes out, then Call of Duty comes out when? October, last week of October, right? November, no. When does it come out? It comes out October 23rd, right? It's going to be a little hard to judge it here, but basically what they want is they want someone to come in, and obviously there's other games on Game Pass, but they look at what's the most signups. Call of Duty has the most signups from the last time the first year that they came out on Game Pass, right? It brought in more people on Game Pass than any other game has ever done before. That was the records that they had. Now that Call of Duty and Gears are coming out in the same month, people are going to get Game Pass, right? Some people are going to get Game Pass for Call of Duty. Some people are going to get Game Pass for E-Day. Some people might get it for E-Day and then play Call of Duty because they have it for a month. Okay? So let's say they get it on October 6th. All of a sudden they see the influx of people coming in. So let's say there's 6 million people that play Gears on Game Pass, right? I'll be one. Sarge will be one because I'm not going to buy it. Okay? I'm playing on Game Pass. I have my thing paid out till the end of the year or whatever. So I have Game Pass Ultimate. For every 3 people, because it's $20, $22, okay? So $22 times 3, right, is $66, okay? Which is almost a 70. Okay, so for every 3 people that get Game Pass and play Gears that day when it comes out, they'll go, oh, well, that's like a player, and then they'll go, oh, we made our money for that game, basically, for every 3 people, because it'll be $70, even though they make money way before it hits the 70. This is why people are saying it doesn't need to be $70 video games, $80 video games. Okay, so 3 people, that would be sort of like a sale of Gears. Now, you got to remember, though, these people might stick with for the next month. They might stay past it and go into November. They might stay. They really only want you, or they only really need you for 3 to 4 months on Game Pass to recoup the cost per person. Okay, roughly. So it's not about a sale. It's about the engagement that they have, because then they have your information. Because when you sign up for Game Pass, you're giving them their email address. They know what they can market you in. They find out what games you play. So if you play an open world game, they're going to send you more open world games. If you play PvP games, they're going to send you more PvP games, right? That's what they want. They want you in the ecosystem, one, that maybe you do like Gears. Okay, let's say you play Gears, you play through the campaign on Game Pass, and now you want to play multiplayer. Well, it's kind of stupid if you keep playing just Gears and you keep paying monthly to pay Gears on Game Pass, right? So what would you do? You would then purchase the game. If you've then converted from being a Game Pass member to then a purchaser of the game, then you would buy the game. And they give you a 20% discount. So let's say it's $70, right? You paid for 2 months. You've already spent $40 for Ultimate. Now you're spending an additional $60. They've made $100 off of you if you want to keep playing that type of game. Same with Call of Duty. Call of Duty is you play through the campaign on Game Pass, and now if you continue playing it on Game Pass, then you're paying a monthly fee to play multiplayer. Well, it's smarter if you just buy the game. That's how they get you. Jesse says, making Captain Price being a new bad guy is bad move by them. F COD. Waterbear says, we all know the drops November. The bully on the block. Literally, the only game that comes out in November is GTA 6. Yeah, I don't think there is another game that cleared the calendar like that. Oh, that's true, Luke. COD is not on Game Pass this year. I forgot about that. You are absolutely correct. So COD is not on there. So all the people that get on October would be just for Gears of War. They would know that then. I totally forgot about that. Thank you very much. That's right. Game Pass. COD is not on Game Pass this time around. COD was on Game Pass. I wouldn't play it like the last one. Only buy COD if they went back to Modern Warfare 2. I don't think the new Call of Duty is coming to Game Pass. I have Gears of War on there, but not Call of Duty. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, thank you for that correction. I totally forgot about that. They said COD's not coming out in Game Pass this year, which is fine. I don't even when it was on Game Pass, I didn't play it. I don't care for the COD series myself. The game I'm interested in is War Dogs. War Dogs. We'll probably watch a video on War Dogs tomorrow. I think we'll watch it on tomorrow because they had some new stuff they were talking about. I didn't get to watch the video yet, so I know they had some sort of. They showed the trailer, and then there was some sort of direct that they were doing, right? Yeah, War Dogs looks interesting. We'll see how it works. I'm a little concerned about the way that people get money and how they bring it into the next match and how lopsided it could be, but we'll see. Crossfire looked interesting. Yeah, Crossfire looked interesting. Clip says, yeah, I have to see the Reddit of people talking about it. Is a guy that just made his job delivering people. That is also how he made its money is so cool. Oh, where he was just being the pilot and dropping the people off. Interesting. Oh, we could do that. We can do. I don't know if we can. How we would do that. We would have to do it on because Sarge is off on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So when it comes out, we could co-op it because I know you guys are on across the pond. If we play at night, it's going to be way early in the morning for you guys. So we would have to play in the afternoon, which would be in the evening for you guys. We could do that. 4-player co-op. We could do that. I'm up for it. But Sarge is off on Wednesdays. And then Thursdays, obviously, for the podcast. So we could do that in the afternoon. I could do the show. Then we could jump in, play as far as we can get on Tuesday or whatever. I'm sorry, on a Wednesday, and then whatever left is on Thursday. That'd be fun. My wish list after Summer Game Fest is like 15 pages long. Mine's not. I'm definitely. See, I don't have to buy Gears, so that's good. That's on Game Pass. So basically everything that's coming out on Xbox already gonna play it. Okay. As far as games to be purchased, I'm very interested in the Star Wars Zero Company. That's a purchase from me. Now I just gotta watch a little bit more content of it to find out a little bit more. It's probably not going to be a day one purchase for me, but I'm definitely going to pick it up. I do like that it's $60. I do like that it's not 70. Clip says, there was a game I saw on Game Fest, but you saw nothing of them. They're just fucking words. Summer Game Fest was a shit show. I'm sorry. They didn't show. Look, when I want to watch video games, I want to watch gameplay of video games. I don't care about trailers, as I said in the beginning of the thing. If you're going to show me absolutely nothing and just show me a trailer, then I don't care. I want to see gameplay. All right, the last thing we're going to talk about real fast is the box office stuff that's been happening, right? Star Wars Mando and Grogu has been out for 17 days. 17 days it's been out, and it's horrendous, okay? I said it was going to bomb in the theaters, and I said it was going to make $360 million, which is less than Solo, which would be a huge bomb because Solo lost $250 million for Star Wars. Okay. Well, this movie is at 293 million worldwide, and it's pretty much done. It's pretty much done. Come this weekend, it's going to drop below about 1 million. I would say about 900,000. That's where it'll be because week 1 it dropped 80%. Week 2, week 2 it dropped 80%. Week 3 it dropped 60%. And if it does the exact same thing, it's going to make less than $1 million coming up this upcoming weekend, right? So this movie is going to be out of theaters before the 45 days, in my opinion. And then not only is this movie going to lose about $250 million to $300 million, but then we have Masters of the Universe, which made a whopping $29 million opening day, or opening weekend, I should say, not opening day, opening weekend, which is just horrendous. Now, people are saying it's pretty good. They like it. They think it's fun. Other people say it's crap. Eclipse said he watched it and he said he had fun watching it. I think it looks like a Flash Gordon to me, and I like Flash Gordon, even though if Flash Gordon came out today, it would make absolutely nothing. It made absolutely nothing when it came out in theaters back in the day. But I like Flash Gordon. This looks like a movie that I would enjoy, but you know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be a hit in any way, shape, or form. It's definitely not going to be a hit. It's going to lose around $250 to $300 million. Okay. And then we have the trifecta, which happens, I think, this upcoming weekend, or is it the following weekend, where we get Supergirl. And Supergirl comes out, and I said this last year when Superman came out, and it only made, about 600 million, or a little less than 600 million. And I said that it lost money, and then they came out later and said that Superman was not good for them. And I said there's no way that Supergirl makes more money than Superman. Never has, never been a bigger character. I don't see this changing in any way, shape, or form. And then everything that's happening with her opening her mouth and talking about things, it doesn't look good for Supergirl. So we're talking about Mando, Masters of the Universe, and Supergirl could be the trifecta, where combined total, they don't even break $1 billion. Okay? They probably won't even break $750,000 combined total because, again, you have Star Wars at $300 million. It's going to struggle to get past $300 million. You're going to have Masters of the Universe is going to struggle to get past $200 million. Okay, so that's $500 million there. And then Supergirl comes in, and it's probably going to do somewhere around what Mando's doing. Okay, and then it's going to, flutter out and be done. So we can be looking at less than $700,000 for these 3 blockbuster films this summer. That's not good. That is not good at all. Let's see. Mortal Kombat is coming to streaming this weekend for rental. What did Mortal Kombat 2 make? Oof. Oof. 128 million total. How many days was it in theaters for? Did it even make its 45 days? No, it made 31 days. I mean, it's still in theaters right now. It's not doing very well. Holy Christ. It came out a month ago. A month ago. Mortal Kombat. And it's already coming out. Holy Christ. Luke says, wait, Master of the Universe is going to be on Prime ASAP. I'll wait. Yeah, that's the problem, though, right? That's the problem. I personally think they need to stop this 45-day thing, and when it's done in theaters, it doesn't come out right away for rental or for streaming. They need to let it simmer a little bit because people look at it and go, oh, it's going to come out right away, so there's no reason to go to theaters. But if you have to wait to watch it down the road, then people do that. So when is there a good film out? When does Spider-Man come out? When does Spider-Man release? Is that next year? Does that come out? Was it Brand New Day? Does that come out in 2026? Oh shit, it comes out this year. That'll probably be the next movie that actually makes money. Yeah, July. Yeah, it comes out July 31st. July 31st. Yeah. Well, it'll be funny, right, Water? Because people will be like, no one's going to the theaters, and Spider-Man comes out and it makes it over $1 billion. Right? Mario just surpassed $1 billion. And that's been in the theater for a little bit, right? Yeah, it just passed $1 billion. Just over $1 billion. So it's the first movie this year to make $1 billion. And it's been in theaters April 1st. So it's been it was in theaters for 68 days. It's still in theaters right now. You can go still in theaters and watch it. Made $1 billion. So why is Mando struggling? Why is Master of the Universe struggling? Well, I would say that it's a crossover, really. The people that would watch Mando and Star Wars would watch Masters of the Universe, and that pipeline of people, Gen Xers, are completely done. They're completely done. Any other films this year? That's 4 tickets. Well, you got Marvel's Doomsday later this year, Sweat, in December. So that's 2 more tickets, right? And then you need 2 more. I'm trying to think of another movie that's coming out. Oh, Dune Part 3. That comes out this year, doesn't it? I don't know if you watched the first 2. Oh, Toy Story. Yeah, Toy Story 5's coming out. You can watch that. You have to watch Dune? Yeah, I don't know about the Odyssey anymore. I don't know what's happening with that thing. Sweat says, I don't like the sand much. You're not going to the actual sand. You're just going to the theater. It's not like they fill the theater up with sand and you have to sit there and watch Dune while you're in the sand. Altern says Toy Story died in 3. Yeah, it's funny. We were having a conversation, me and my son. He asked me what one of my favorite movies of all time is, and I was like, I love Toy Story 1. I like Toy Story 2 as well. 3 and 4 were good, but they're not great. So we'll see what happens with 5. Right, Luke, right? That then made you feel like, oh, you got to go watch it. You got to go to the theater and watch it, because when it comes out of theaters, you don't know when you're going to see it. It's going to be like a year. Not anymore. They're like, oh, it comes out on Monday. I'll just wait 2 weeks. I'll just wait 2 weeks. It'll come out. Jesse Max says, 30, I have one problem with Spider-Man Brand New Day is how Peter writes a letter to Ned and fake MJ to be friends again. What's the point? No Way Home plot. That is the fundamental problem with a lot of movies in today's age, Jesse. They don't let anything stick, right? I thought after the last Spider-Man film, they were done. I was like, all right, cool. They told a story about them, and now we're going to see Peter Parker, and he's going to meet the real MJ, and and they're maybe he does still, but he's got this other plot going on, right? Same with Mando and Grogu, right? At the end of season 2 of Grogu and Mando, or I should say the Mandalorian series, he handed over Grogu to Luke Skywalker. There was this big emotional scene and take care of him and blah, blah, blah. And then season 3 starts and he's back in his lap. It's like, can we just have something for just a little bit, right? Star Wars, Chewbacca blew up in the ship. Nope, just kidding. He's okay, right? Like all of these things that happen, they never let sit. Jokes right after some like sad thing, they never let the sad thing hit. They throw a joke in there. They don't let anything of a plot point actually sit and like simmer for a bit to make you think like what's happening. Nope. They got to wrap it up real fast. It makes no sense. Sweat Dog says, the last film I went to go see is Jurassic World, and that was hard to watch even for me and the Dino-holic. Is Jurassic World the one with Scarlett Johansson, or is that the one with Chris? I've never seen any of the Chris Pratt ones. Nope. Can't have him as the real Spider-Man. Rogue says, I watched Spider Noir this weekend. Was better than I thought it was going to be. I haven't watched it yet. On the airplane, I did watch Naked Gun, the new one. Pretty funny. It's stupid, but pretty funny. I was laughing out loud a couple times. I thought, obviously, I watched it on an airplane. Would I say watch it in theaters? Probably not, but it is actually a entertaining film. So if you haven't seen Naked Gun, the new Naked Gun is just, it feels like an old Naked Gun movie. It's good. Not great, but good. Okay. I watched that, and then I watched a little bit of the other Ghostbusters film that came out a couple years ago, Empire, the Frost one. I only watched the first hour of it, and then the plane landed. I didn't get to watch the rest of it, and then it wasn't on the flight back. So I have to finish watching that one. But for what I saw for that, it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was good so far, the stuff I watched. And then I watched a movie on the way back on the plane. It was called Mercy, which is a new Chris Pratt film that I believe is on Netflix, but it was also on the plane. Interesting concept. It's about AI and how AI judges you, is the judge, the jury, and the executioner all in one thing. And the story plot rotates around Chris Pratt's character. I won't ruin anything for you. But it reminds me, if you ever guys watch back in the day with Colin Farrell in the movie, what's it called? Is it on Prime? Okay. Phone Booth. Colin Farrell was in this movie called Phone Booth. This movie reminded me of Phone Booth. And the reason I'm saying this is that Phone Booth took place in a phone booth the entire time. Okay. Not until the very end does it like leave the phone booth kind of. This movie, Mercy, with Chris Pratt, takes place in one room with his character, but it does, there's other stuff going on, and they do it all through like past broadcasts or security footage or different things. Very original, I should say, the way they did it. I thought it was good. So if you guys want to see an interesting movie, go watch the Mercy. Again, not great, but it's entertaining. Reminded me of Minority Report. Yeah, a little bit. There's a couple of things I was like, and obviously, like most movies, the last 20 minutes, they just have to like, let's wrap it up, right? They're like, let's wrap it up real fast. They're like, it was like a nice pacing going on. And then all of a sudden they're like, all right, we got to finish this up real fast. Let's get it going. You're like, okay. All right. Shadow says way too much Hollywood slop. I don't know, man. I think a lot of the stuff that they do, I do think that we're a little harsher on films. Like even when a movie's not bad, we look for like the worst things. But there's a lot of shit out there, I'll be honest with you. There is a lot of shit. The writers are the worst. The writers are the biggest problem with movies. 100%. BB says it probably been discussed, but wow, do we owe Sharma an apology? Apology for what? She's been there for 3 months. Do you think all the stuff that she did and announced wasn't already in the works beforehand, besides just changing the furniture around and saying that we're now making E-Day exclusive? It's way too early to say, oh, yeah, we got to apologize. Sorry. No apology. No apology needed yet. She's been there since February, mid-February. Mr. Luke says it's more like a upmarket YouTube film, and the YouTube filmmakers are making more Hollywood. Yes. The people that's exactly right, Luke. The people that are working in Hollywood, it's like they're not experienced and they're making like YouTube movies. But yet the people that are YouTubers are making fucking like actual Hollywood films. Like Hollywood forgot how to make movies, and these like independent guys are coming out of nowhere and making good films. It's crazy. Is the movie Paycheck worth a watch? Paycheck? I don't remember Paycheck. Who was in Paycheck? Paycheck. Ben Affleck. Uma Thurman. Never saw it. I never saw it. And if I did see it, I completely forgot about it. Now Travis is going to make a joke because Paul Giamatti's in it, and he's going to be like, well, you were in the movie, and yeah, no, I never saw it. Altar says, now we need a YouTuber to make a Mission Impossible, and Hollywood is fucked. Did you know John Woo was supposed to make a He-Man movie back in the early 2000s? I just read about this like 2 days ago. Yet John Woo actually had a script going on where he was actually going to make the Masters of the Universe, Luke. Well, an adaptation or whatever it is. It never went through. And then this movie has like 6 writers, right? So like this movie of Masters of the Universe has 6 different credited writers in it. And it's like a modge podge of different versions of the script. The script's been, well, I should say the movie's been in development for 10 years. 10 years for Masters of the Universe. Now, a lot of people like it. I watched other people talk about it. They're like, the normies like Masters of the Universe, but the fans, if you're a He-Man fan, you're probably not going to like it. I don't know. Don't know. I'll probably see it. I'll probably watch it. I don't know if I'll watch it in theaters. Ray says, anyone knew that Stellar Blade is officially exclusively or not on Xbox with the Switch 2 announcement? I don't think it's exclusive. If it's on Xbox, it's never exclusive. Even E-Day is still coming to PC. So regardless of Arsha Sharma saying that, you know, it's exclusive for Xbox, it's still coming to PC. It's just not going to the other console. Travis says, did you know that John Woo has a game called Stranglehold? It's one of my guilty pleasures. I did not know that. Shadow says, yeah, the He-Man film has been delayed numerous times. Yeah, it's been a mess. It's been a mess. It was actually supposed to come out a couple years ago, but then the Kevin Smith thing happened with the animated stuff, and they were like, let's push that back. Because it was getting so much pushback. Altern says 6 writers. Why so many? Because they've taken the script that was supposed to be from like 10 years ago, and then they brought in new writers to rewrite the script. And then it went back into hiding, and then they brought another person in to write the script. So because there's different writers on the script over so many years, so they still get credited because there's bits and pieces of that script they still use from the original one from 10 years ago up to the point of the last writer doing the script from the last couple years ago. Wow, it's a TV show mashed into a movie. Jesse Max says, you're going to go see Pressure, a very great movie to see. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look it up. Mr. G says, yes, good showing from Xbox. Apologies. Which one, Mr. Z? $1,000 consoles and milking the subs. I don't think so. All the things. PlayStation had some good games they showed. Xbox had some great games to show. Regardless of all the games they're showing, I don't know how they're going to sell consoles to get new people to come in to buy those games. That's going to be a hard sell. Shadow says, basically, too late now for the film to make profit, but Amazon seems happy with it. With which one, Shadow? You're talking about Masters of the Universe? I don't know how you could be happy with this. Opening weekend is a disaster if you're talking about Masters of the Universe. Like, this is a disaster. They're not even close to making their money back. So I don't know if they're happy with it. $29 million. The budget was like $175 million. They're going to lose about $220, $250 million off of this film. If Amazon's happy with it, what the heck are we talking about? Amazon only cared about the film, evidently, to keep the license going. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Great. They have a license for the game that nobody, or for the film that nobody gives a shit about. So is that worth having a license for? Unless they're going to sell it off to somebody else, but you would think you would want to sell something that actually people want. Yeah, Amazon made money with Hail Mary. Hail Mary is very successful. Yeah, there isn't a point. That's why I'm confused, Shadow. Right? And again, not against you. What I'm saying is, I don't know how you could be happy about sales when your movie doesn't make money, right? And if it doesn't make money, then people don't care. And if people don't care, then they're not buying the toys. They're not buying the game. They're not buying what He-Man is. If you made a movie that people cared about, then people be like, oh my God, did you see the movie? Oh yeah, so good. They go buy the posters. They go buy the video games. They go buy the actual toys. Why have a license if nobody cares about it? It's like, does a bear shit in the woods? Yeah. Does a tree make sound in the woods if it falls? Yeah, but nobody cares. Yeah. When if an Amazon guy came out and said, "Oh yeah, we're happy with it," that's just to be like the normies that don't follow the stuff. They're like, "Oh, they liked it. I mean, it's a good movie," type of thing. And hear me out. It could be a good movie. Again, you could like this movie, but if the movie is liked, maybe it gets a second coming. For instance, look at let me go back to Flash Gordon, right? Back in the day. 1980. Okay. This movie was an absolute like garbage dump in theaters. Okay. 1980. 27 million domestically, 68,000 internationally. It only made 27 million, right? Not a beloved movie. People love Flash Gordon. Love Flash Gordon. Afterwards, Flash Gordon became a cult classic. People loved it. Maybe He-Man becomes the same way, where after it comes out of theaters, people buy it, people start seeing it, people start picking it up and going, oh, you know what? It's actually really good. It could have that second life where people, but again, we don't live in the same formula that we had before. People don't really go out and buy DVDs anymore and own DVDs. There are people that own it, but they're not out there buying about a bunch of stuff. They're watching on a streaming service. Jesse Mack says He-Man flop, but his toys make more money than the movie. This is the same situation with Transformers Year One. Transformers Year One was actually a really good movie. It lost money. Another Hasbro, title. Mattel and Hasbro have always had terrible distribution. It's amazing to me, right? It's amazing to me how you can have the most popular toys on planet Earth ever between all the franchises they have between Mattel and Hasbro, and they all are struggling to make money. They have to clean out their executives and figure out something. Sarge says one of my favorite movies. I found it on Blu-ray. Oh, Flash Gordon, yeah. Yeah, Flash. He's gonna save every one of us. Dive. Right? If I close my eyes right now, right? Flash Gordon, I always see that one scene where you got to put your hand inside the little trap, the alien creatures inside, and they're playing that little game, right? That always freaked me out as a kid. Dive. Yeah. Yeah. It's such a shitty movie, right? Let's be honest, right? Flash Gordon is such a shitty movie. It's fucking amazing. I love it. If that's what if that's what Master of the Universe can be for me in this modern day, I'm all about it. I don't care. Again, you guys know where I stand, right? I like there's some things I like that are shitty. I like Marvel's Avengers, the shitty game, right? I won't defend it against anybody, right? It was a failure. It was a shit game, but man, I love it. If Master of the Universe is a good movie and I love it, but it's still a bomb, I'm okay with that, right? Because again, I don't work for the studio. I don't work for the company. If I enjoy that movie, then I'm going to take that movie and I'll buy it. I'll buy it on Blu-ray, right? I'll watch it and be like, you know what? I'm going to purchase this. That's how that works. The Flying Cycle, God, it's so good. The Hawk People, oh, fucking amazing. You know what? I want to watch that movie. I think I'm going to watch that movie. All right. I got my parents visiting. They're leaving tomorrow. We're gonna hang out for the rest of the afternoon. I appreciate every single one of you that come out, hang out with us. Thank you very much, Wizard, and anyone that stayed after for the raid. The raid didn't pop up on my end, so I don't know what happened. I do apologize for not saying anything when the raid happened. I do appreciate everyone coming out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. I appreciate it very much. I might not be playing video games tonight because my parents are still in town. And then we'll be back tomorrow morning for more of the Daily Grind. Appreciate it. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Explain. cosmodrome reign, a dead earth calling out your name. Ghost says, Guardian, rise again. No map, no guide, just fire in your hand. The dark below, we fought in caves, hive kings crawling from ancient graves, house of wolves, betrayal lines, prison of elders, one more try at a time. We were lost, but we believed in the light we couldn't see. We were chasing light through time. Every loss still felt like mine. From broken stars to burning skies, we kept on fighting, never asking why. Oh, eyes up, don't fade away. We're more than the ghosts of yesterday. Through every raid and every sign, we were chasing light through time. Then came the king, the taken rise, oryx falling from the sky. Jalahorn sang one last song, and suddenly the world felt strong. Rise of iron, the plague lands cry, silver spreading like a lie. Salvation forged in fire and steel, we learned what pain could really feel. Every white, every fall, we still answered when they called. We were chasing light through time. Every scar became a sign. From the ball of glass to the final line, we kept on pushing past the climb. Oh, eyes up, don't lose your way. The traveler still lights up the grave. Through every raid and every sign, we were chasing light through time.